All right, guys, before we get into this podcast, football's in full swing, and you know what that means. Prize Picks, go download the app right now. Use code Bradley, and if you put in $5, literally your first line at $5, they'll give you $50. So whether you win or lose, draw, doesn't matter. You're getting $50 for free. I guess if you lost, you got $45, whatever, doesn't matter. Code Bradley, download the app right now. Also, right now, Prize Picks just started adding picks during the game. So like if the game is already live, previously, if you didn't already have the pick in, it's gone. But now you could pick during the game. Obviously, there's a cutoff at some point throughout the game when like the pick, depending on whatever pick it is like you can't do it. But for the most part, you can do live picks. So give it a shot. Go to Prize Picks right now. Download the app. Code Bradley. Put in $5 on your first lineup. You get $50 literally for free. Win, lose, or draw. All right, let's get into this podcast. Yeah, so I never got, I don't know if I ever, maybe I didn't see the whole clip. I never got the answer, but would you rather f- that looks like Bradley Martyn or Davis?
As a celibate nigga, bro, that's a tough one to answer.
If you were not celibate.
I don't know. I try not to think about those things because then I had to like really like, you know, you could joke about your friends, but like once you answer that question, you had to at least visualize like what that would be like.
Yeah, that's why it's a f***ed question.
Yeah, I cut my off.
It's terrible. Bro, so you overall, you like LA? Would you live here?
I don't know if I'd live here. I think it's weird. Like I grew up in Toronto. I always thought like I'd want to go back to Toronto, but have you seen it recently?
No, I haven't. I went there once like 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's so different. And I don't know if you felt, where did you grow up?
San Francisco.
And like, how long has it been since you moved out?
Oh man. So I moved out when I was 18. I went to Sacramento State, which is north of San Francisco, and then came back home. And then like around 1920, I moved down here, and I've lived down here ever since.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
And when you go back, it feels different.
It's completely different.
And so like the things you loved about it, it's like, you're trying to find them, but like, it's like remnants of the things you enjoyed about the place you grew up, still there, but it's not the same place.
And you mean in the sense of just the way it looks, or just like the energies, like the communities or the people who are...
Both, really, but like, it's weird. Like, so I grew up like on the east side. I was born in Scarborough. It was a bad area. My parents made the decision to move us out to Markham, which is more north. But when we moved there, it was a farmland. So even in the time where I first got to Markham to when I left, it went from a farmland to like a rich Chinese community. It was like 70% Chinese, whole bunch of rich niggas. So like the value...
You're talking about in the not like adjacent next to the city, like just as you live there. It went,
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So like I used to, when I would go from like my Saturday school back home, so I'd travel to Scarborough every weekend. It went from like smelling manure and farmlands and like it was really that type of area to just huge suburbia. Like everywhere you go, more suburbs, and like. I imagine for the people that grew up in Markham even 40 years ago, like it's not just unrecognizable, it's a different planet. Yeah. So they probably wouldn't want to go back there, even if it's a place they grew up.
The country vibes sound nice.
Yeah, it is. Like I low-key could see myself like getting a farm one day and just like chilling.
It's funny. I do too. How old are you?
28.
Yeah. As you get older, it's a weird thing that happens. You're like, I could be around less people more often than not.
And I love animals, so that's perfect for me. I could pick up cows and raise some chickens and stuff like that. Yeah. Fuck it, man.
Bro, I feel that so much. As you've gotten older too, has your taste in music changed?
Yo, this month, like I'm tired of rap, bro. I don't like listening to rap no more. Like I have my favorite artists, but like I'm so tired of like music videos. It's just big mansion, big booty hoes, money. Yeah. A couple new cars that just dropped, and like the formula's old. I don't like it no more. And it hit me. I told my chat, and it's weird. Like they agreed with me. I thought they were just gonna call me old, but like I've been like listening to other now.
And I thought, honestly, I was like, is it just because I'm getting older? But then I think that's a part of it where like maybe just the time you've spent listening to it, you're like, yo, I'm tired of the same.
Yeah, that's probably what it is, realistically. But that's probably why like older people don't really listen to new. They kind of just listen to they grew up listening to.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah.
But even still with that, I'm kind of like, I guess I also got to a point in my life where I'm like, do I want to like put all this negative sort of bull information into my body?
And
like
that's really
constantly.
what it is, bro. Like nonstop too.
And the thing, I mean, the words you ingest, the words you say, it's all affecting you to some degree, whether you're aware of it or not. It's a reality. So it's like, what am I doing?
Yeah. I go like every month. At one point during the month, I'll get exhausted to just listen to music, and I'll go on a podcast binge. Yeah. And like usually I'll pick podcasts where I feel like I can learn from. But like just to get a little break from music, sometimes I just get tired of music, bro.
Yeah. I've been listening to a lot of books on tape. I sound so old right now. I don't give a bro. I don't give a I'm listening to books on downloadable. I love that, man.
Yeah, me too. Like I go to sleep just learning. But like I feel like I remember it better. And then it's weird, like when I wake up, even though I wasn't awake during most of the podcast, like I think I remember from when I was asleep while I was listening to it.
I swear this is a thing. It's like a real thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm not a scientist on this.
Yeah.
I like to talk to people about it, but I swear this is a real thing.
Yeah.
Some sort of learning. But had you always been into learning like that?
I love learning. I'm a huge learner. Like even to this day, like I like knowing everything that's going on around me because it'll help inform my decisions too. But even dumb, like I know way too much about stupid. Like I could read the ingredient list of like an energy drink and start to I don't know why like I care about weird stuff like that, but or it could just be random skills like archery. Like I'm a decent archer.
Whoa,
I just
fun.
Yeah, I like learning random things. And like now I'm in a car binge right now, so I'm learning how to drift. That's like my next thing I want to do.
Like in like what JDM cars?
It don't have to be JDM. It just has to be rear wheel drive and preferably manual. But like you could slide anything really if you want to.
And you have a Ferrari, but you didn't pull up in the Ferrari today.
Yeah, I've pulled up in a Ford Edge.
Yeah, why no Ferrari?
All my cars are in Atlanta. And plus, I'm going to a car my friend has a car show in Atlanta. What day is it? Tomorrow. It's Saturday. Yeah, it's literally tomorrow. So I'm going to pop out. It's my first time really popping out in the Ferrari, so I go there.
This is kind of a weird question. Are you always happy streaming?
Like the only time I'm not happy streaming is when like a obnoxious amount of things go wrong on stream, which happens because it's live. So it's not like you could just edit stuff out or push things back or delay things. Like you're troubleshooting live. So sometimes it can be frustrating, but most of the time, like 99% of the time, I'm like really happy. Like I could be doing anything. I could be eating food, but if I'm eating food on stream, like the chat genuinely makes it a better experience. They're so funny because it's like, there could be 100 jokes rattled off about the same thing that just happened on stream. And I guarantee 5 of them at the bare minimum will make me laugh. And that'll make my day better.
Well, dude, there's something, I don't know if it's a Twitter it's more of a Twitter thing that I've noticed because I live stream, but I'm not as consistent, I'd say, as obviously you are. But Twitter and just comments in general, like some people have the best jokes. Like you'll find the best jokes on the planet from comments. Yeah. Which in this case chatters, right?
In the chat, bro. The chat. So it really just depends on the community you build. I just feel like we went crazy in ours. So like it don't matter what we're doing, like they find a way to make it fun and better. So like I could be doing something interesting and it make the interesting thing better. Yeah. So it don't matter. I bring them along for everything. Like I have a build series now where I'm also learning how to work on cars. Cause like, previously I just sent them out to the shop and then do it for me. But like, I really want to learn. So like, I have an E36, that's my drift car, and it has like 300,000 miles. It's a beater. There's like 50 things wrong with it. And so like, I'm recording and streaming. It up. Yeah, just me fixing it up. So like the AC doesn't work, how you fix that? You feel me?
On stream?
Yeah, we're doing it all on stream. Shit. So I have a mechanic that has three E36s and he comes over and like, he'll let me kind of struggle. But like, if there's something I need help with, he'll be like, no, this is how you do it.
So what are you learning this all from? Like YouTube? You're watching YouTubers and trying to do it?
My mechanic friend, Black, he's helping me out. So like, I think on the first episode we did refer to YouTube, but there's something that like YouTube won't teach you. Like,
but how are you struggling if you don't know how to do something? Like, how are you learning how to do something that you don't know?
So like, for example, we ordered new seats, right? The seats that I bought the car with were like super, like you had to be a really skinny nigga to fit inside them. So like I finally got some seats that fit me better and like I'm taller than the guy I bought it from, so I could finally move the seat back. Issue is all you got to do is put the brackets in to the car. Yeah. Simple enough. But the fitment's off. So now you got to be like, okay, how the do you fit all these? You need special tools so that you can get the drill in a specific angle. But even then, it still didn't fit. So we had to add holes onto the bracket so that it could fit properly. And even then, all 4 bolts couldn't fit. So we just put in 3 and we prayed to God.
Yeah,
so
like, don't slide out.
So like you have to troubleshoot. Even if it seems like something as simple as like putting a seat inside of a car, it can be difficult based on like the part you get.
Of course.
And like no one part is the same as the other. There's almost always going to be fitment issues. So stuff like that, I'm downloading and learning. But like I'm a good problem solver, so like I like learning. I love learning stuff like that.
Had you always been that way? Your whole life?
Yes. That's probably the thing I'm best at, which I feel like is why a lot of people dump their problems on me. Is like
like friends, like
but like I'm not good at listening to your problems and then like that's not, like some people are good at listening to problems. My brain is just like, okay, what's the solution? So like I'm like in a mad hunt trying to figure out what I would do to solve the problem. But sometimes people don't want to hear like the solution.
Well, because they
just want to feel heard.
Well, the solution sometimes doesn't make people feel good.
Yeah,
everyone wants to feel good. Everyone's trying to avoid feeling, which is interesting, I think. And I mean, you kind of know something about that. You were super overweight before.
Yeah. I'm still working on it, but bro,
you were like way more overweight.
Bad. Yeah, I was 330 pounds at one point. Like couldn't run. Like just walking would make me out of breath. Like it was, and I was at the time I was 23, and it was like, you're 23 years old and you can't run. That's crazy.
It's nuts. But it's like, wow, how did you get there? If you had this problem solving brain for so long, it's like, wouldn't you have saw that problem coming and be like, why am I doing this?
So some problems like you could know the solution and it could still be hard to do.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? And so that was one of them for me. I genuinely feel like, no cap, I think I have the biggest appetite of anyone I've ever met. And like, it feel like I'm wrestling every day to not like just binge. And I think people with like normal appetites and small appetites struggle to understand what having a crazy appetite is like. And they feel like everyone's like probably how they are. Yeah. Like you could put 10,000 calories in front of me, I'll eat it, right? In no cap, an hour later, if you brought me a Five Guys cheeseburger, I would still have an extreme desire to eat that. Like there's no satiation. There's no period where I'm like, okay, that's enough. So like I really have to.
What the?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I can keep going. It's nonstop. And like my chat knows that because they see like I eat really fast, like almost like I'm speed eating, but I'm not. That's just my normal pace. And like I don't get full. So
you know what would fix that? Like, and you're not going to want to hear it. And like everyone's going to be like, no. But if you like microdose Ozempic, like semaglutide. I know
it would be ideal.
Not even a large amount, like, because not how people take it to lose a lot of weight. Just a small amount, because it sounds like it's the mental thing.
It is. It's like, just the appetite thing. But really, all I need is 2 strong weeks, and I'm good. Like once I get 2 strong weeks of like consistent eating decent, then I'm good. I'm good on it. But like the first 2 weeks is so challenging for me.
Where are you at now? Like, are you still like really trying to lose weight? Or?
Yeah, I've been lifting consistently for the past year. And it's been a blast, honestly. Like I finally figured out like what I like to do in the gym. So like that part I figured out. I just need to eat more consistently. The travel has kind of been kicking my because I have a chef back in Atlanta. Thing, yeah. And like, so I'll just eat whatever he cooks me. So it's easy when I'm back home. But when I'm traveling, you open up DoorDash.
Oh my God.
And you're cooked. You're cooked. Like there's 80 good options.
Yeah, that's the thing now. Yeah. So okay, let's take it back though. You how old were you when you were super overweight?
So I fluctuated 23. A lot growing up. I was at like 230 most of my high school life. I was pretty overweight.
Yeah.
When I got into uni, I lost a lot of weight really fast. And it was out of necessity. Like I just didn't have the money to eat bad at the time. So I ate healthy. So I told this story like a few weeks ago.
Well, most people say that's not the reality. Most people say it's easier to, if it's less expensive to eat.
Not for me. Okay, but I had a little bit of a cheat code. So here's what I would do. I would just get like minute rice. I'd get a cheap can of tuna. And then my mom would cook beef for me back at home and freeze it. So she'd put it in my freezer. So I would just combine that and put some ketchup on it. It was a nasty concoction, but I just ate that every day. It had good protein. Like it was one meal a day, 1,500 calories. And it cooked. And you know, you're on campus. You have to walk around so much. So I'm getting like 15,000 steps a day. I'm hooping, playing basketball. Like I'm very active. I'm eating good. And so it just started shredding off. I went from 230 to 160. And at 160, like I look very malnourished. Like,
Yeah, 160.
Like what people would consider.
You're not a small dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What people would consider, like, you know how people say Ozempic face? They would have definitely said that about me on the internet back then.
Yeah.
But that really just happens when you lose weight fast. It doesn't matter how you do it.
Of course.
You feel me? So
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
so I realized like I don't really want to be 160, but at 160 is when I started having like a binge eating issue. So like what would happen was I would have a rough day, and then my solution would be like food wasn't comfort. Food, I treated it like a punishment. So like I would be
punishing yourself.
Yeah, like I don't deserve to eat good and feel good today. So I would definitely punish myself by eating like a ton of food. And so it would make me feel like, and so it was like a bad cycle that eventually became a habit, and then low key kind of became an addiction. And so I ballooned from there. So
but it was the idea that like you didn't deserve something. I don't get that.
It was more like
you deserve to feel bad because you did something bad. You deserve to feel worse.
Yeah, like why would I deserve to feel good if I'm not doing good? You get what I'm saying? So like it could be as simple as like I did awful in an assignment that I really needed to do well on. You feel me? Or I let somebody I care about down. Like it could be whatever reason, but like it just started to like really cycle. So I would eat bad, and then I would go hoop for like 3 hours. Like you can't burn it off. I ate like 8,000 calories.
You burned some off, but not enough.
Yeah. No. So it was a cycle of like feel like eat food, feel like even more, go hoop for 3 hours.
But it's so weird. It's like if your mind is like you're making yourself feel worse willingly, knowingly, and you kind of, I don't know when you start to recognize that, and then you're trying to do the cardio to like counterbalance it. It's like, which one do you want then?
I wasn't even doing the cardio to like burn the calories. I was just doing it because it was like therapy for me.
Oh, so it all's a part of that escape.
Yeah. So back then, basketball was my main thing. If anytime right after an exam release, I go hoop. Like the gyms were open 24/7, so I could hoop whenever. Like, and I remember those days, like basketball was the only thing I really had to help me release. I didn't have too many friends on campus. Like I felt like in high school, I was more of a popular guy. And then in university, like I brought like 6 friends. That's it.
Yeah.
And so like, and most of them were just like classmates. Like we would study together like that. But I was afraid of getting dragged into a lot of this people get dragged into in uni, going to parties.
Yeah.
I know niggas that I used to cheat off of in high school, in university, selling cocaine. Like it was scary how quickly people I thought I knew changed into something else. And that scared the shit out of me. So I didn't want any influence. I didn't go to not one party while I was in uni. I stayed really strict about everything because I knew why I was there. And so for me, I didn't want to veer off my path because I wanted to have some fun that night. Yeah. Or for whatever reason. I saw people make the wrong friends and their lives change for the worse. And that's a tough thing to rebound from.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to fall into that kind of stuff. Like, I don't think younger people recognize how actually it's like way harder if you're in the situation to say no to your group of friends than to just be out of the situation entirely. Like I saw you mentioned on Hassan's pod about drinking, that you don't drink at all. And that like, people are like, either like you're a bitch or like, oh, that's so cute. Like that kind of vibe.
It's a lot of weird reactions when I tell people that. And like sometimes it makes them feel bad too. So like, and I don't want you to feel bad.
Yeah.
And sometimes people think that I do it out of superiority. It's like, I don't feel like a better human. I just don't want to. You feel me? And some people like, they don't just take it as that. They like.
And why don't you want to? Because you don't want to feel worse?
Well, the main reason was religious reasons. Yeah. So like I'm Muslim, so I just don't drink off the strength of that. But also even stuff that's not haram that can be addictive, I just avoid. So like it could be whatever, but if I feel like I could potentially get hooked on it, and I could barely control my addiction to Lay's ketchup chips. So, or Lay's wavy or Popeye's chicken. So I know if you put an addictive substance in front of me, it's over. So I don't like taking risks. I feel like I take life kind of seriously in that sense. But then like if you watch me on stream, like I don't take anything seriously. I'm just bullshitting all the time.
Yeah. I mean, you've like categorized it somehow in your mind.
Yeah.
It just makes sense.
Yeah, so the food part I'm figuring out, like it will be a little bit of a journey. It's weird, like Ozempic is a weird drug in that like it's exactly great for a person like me, but my brain doesn't want to take shortcuts. I can't convince myself to take it because
I get it. What you described though was very like specific, like in your mind, just never being able to like avoid it, like because you can't satiate it.
Mm-hmm.
That's like specifically what it does.
Exactly.
But you don't, and the thing is too, and I'm not, again, it's gonna sound like I'm trying to get you to do it. You do whatever you want to do, live your life. But there's like amounts you could take, because I've been experimenting with it just to see what it does mentally. Like, because
that's what I'm afraid of.
But there's a ton of studies around it, exactly what you just described as far as like avoiding addictions and all these sort of things that you know that urge, you're like, oh, I gotta do it, and it's hard for me to say no to. Like, it makes that part of your brain a little bit more effective, essentially.
So for what it's worth, like, it does seem like an effective drug. I did a lot of research around it.
Yeah.
But I did see a decent amount of cases of like any drug that has the ability to control your hormones could potentially also fuck them up. And so like as I understand it, the main hormone that controls hunger is ghrelin.
Yeah.
And so like there's not many drugs that could pretty accurately attack a specific hormone. And so there are some people that will take it and they get depressed after, or it fucks with their brain in some way that just hasn't been studied yet. Yeah. And like that scares the shit out of me, because I love where my brain's at. Like, now if I was fucked up and like depressed and going through it, like, bro, I'd take some. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But like, I really don't want to fuck with the way my brain is right now.
Yeah.
And
I mean, there's no arguing that.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Yeah, so I'm really petrified of touching anything. Up until like 2 years ago, I didn't even take like Tylenol.
I don't like taking any of that kind of
thing. Yeah, because I don't know, but like I take Dayquil when I get sick, just because it halves the period. Yeah. And I could stream when I'm actually on Dayquil because my throat works. So like, yeah, I take it slow when it comes, because you never know, bro. Like 10 years from now, they could be like recall on all people.
Yo, y'all dying.
Class action lawsuit. Anyone that's taking Ozempic,
your toes falling off.
And like, really, like, we take so many risks in this modern life. Like, no cap, there was I think we could find out next year that like Wi-Fi gives you cancer, and we don't know any of these things that we use. We don't know what the could go wrong long term.
For sure. The Bluetooth.
Rolling the dice. Yeah. We're rolling the dice on life. And now they're saying, I think I heard something about 6G connection. I'm like, oh, brother. Like, we have fast. Nigga, I'm not gonna lie. I've been having connection issues in LA, bro. 4G.
It's starting to remind me of the iPhone trend, where they start slowing down your iPhone, so they try to get you to want the new thing.
Yes, and that was proven true, by the way.
Yeah,
Apple got sued over that.
But I'm telling you, they're gonna start doing that with the internet, because the internet's been fast. Like, how can it get faster? Now it's getting faster, and next thing you know, when they're about to release it getting faster, it's gonna feel.
But we don't even need more speed. We need more range. Like, I can drive through LA and have 0 bars in certain areas.
Bro, you know what I found so interesting right now? The fact that you knew what ghrelin was just blew my mind. I'm sorry I went back to that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I learned a lot of when
I didn't say it earlier, but you blew my mind that you knew what that was.
Yeah, I watch a lot of random I watch way too many videos. So like, yeah, bro, I never really know what it is, but so I'm really conservative with the risks I take in.
Are you an anxious kind of person?
No, I just like I don't know. Okay, so I'm Muslim, so like I feel like this life has a lot of stakes because to us, like, this is a test, and then the next life is the real life you should be preparing for. And so like, I don't want to die early over some dumb shit and then not have the time to like get, rack up my good deeds and then, repent for my sins. So I really feel like there's a lot on the line. So I don't want to go early because, like, you have probably friends in your life that just do whatever, bro. Like, just crazy shit. They don't get what risks it comes with. They just be doing it. I can't do that because I just feel like there's way too much on the line for me to act like that recklessly. So you're fully bought in. You believe in it. And like I just had to. It's just a matter of getting the discipline to practice more. What makes you believe that that's like a certainty? And I'm not at all questioning it. I'm just curious. It's like, okay, so if you read the Quran, it's a fascinating book. It's almost like reading poetry. And in that, like, you can't even completely comprehend it without it being explained to you. Like when you go to English class and there's Shakespeare, like, you could read the English, you know what the words are literally meaning, but you don't know what Shakespeare meant by them because language changed so much, and that's over the course of a few hundred years. So the Quran, that's like 1,300 years ago. Yeah. And so like when it's properly explained to you by someone who studies it, like, it's truly like transformational. I feel like a lot of people, they have their like misconceptions about what it stands for, what it means, and what it preaches, but like, I genuinely feel like any structure you can give your life will help move you forward. And I feel like the worst thing you can do is have no structure and no meaning and no purpose. So like, I don't care what people believe. I genuinely feel like most religions will at least give you a foundation so that you can attack life meaningfully. And when you do that, you are more useful and helpful to the people around you. And if everybody did that, the world would be a much better place.
You know, you're right. And you know what's really interesting about the point you made about having structure? And the interesting thing is, in life, whether you are aware of it or not, if you don't have structure, then your structure is recklessness, sort of aimlessness,
yep.
and kind of just what other people say and how it affects you. Then you move in that direction. And so then it's, whether you're aware of it or not, it's happening. So you're absolutely right. Having structure is like a foundational thing. And I think a lot of people struggle with just finding that. And I know a lot of people struggle with even just finding like sort of a religion that makes sense. I mean, I struggled for a long time with, you know, I grew up in a Catholic church, and I kind of like was like, this seems kind of weird that I got more into Christianity. And I struggled just a long time in general, just about God and being like, this is real versus this is just something that is supposed to make people feel better about their own mortality. And as I've gotten older, the more and more I guess I kind of look into it, the more and more I feel more at peace with it. And I'm like way more, I don't want to say God-fearing, but more belief. Like I just struggled for so long because my life was just interesting growing up.
It's weird because like faith, like you're not going to talk to God. Like, so like the way you'd usually prove something is by like physically seeing it or something like that. So like you kind of have to look for evidence and proof that things are happening around you and it's God that controls them. I just think, to me, like, it was weird. The more you, one time in my first year of uni, I took a kinesiology course, and like, you know, you learn about the human body, and you probably know a lot about this, all the infinite muscles you have in your body and bones and structure, and how one small thing can go wrong and the whole system starts fucking up, and we're one species. Like, it almost should feel like an impossibility in your brain that this all happened and nobody created it.
Yeah,
no intelligent, infinitely intelligent, like, it just happened. All this, like, even if like,
from a spark,
yeah. There's this channel I watch called YBS Youngbloods on YouTube, and like he just goes to like random islands in Australia and like goes in coral reefs, and I'm seeing animals I've never seen before. I'm like, all this just happened? There's no way. So like, I think you could reasonably come to the conclusion that there has to be some higher power. And I think that's the point. A lot of people do believe that for the most part. They might not know which one they believe in or done research to figure out like what their core beliefs are and stuff like that. But even people that like used to be religious and aren't, are at least agnostic most of the time. Like they believe there is a higher power, but they don't know what it is for them.
Uncertainty, yeah.
I genuinely feel like you should explore, like, this is your one life. Why not find out what your purpose is? Yeah. And that's more important than going to university and getting a career. Yeah. I guarantee you, when you're like 60, you're not going to give a fuck about the 30 years you spent personal training or the 50 years you spent being a lawyer. It's going to be a lot less significant than you spending time to discover what makes your life meaningful and what the purpose of your life is. And you don't have to come to the same conclusion as everybody else, but I think the pursuit of that is like of the utmost importance. Yeah. So like, it's different for everybody. Like, you can find meaning in something that somebody else thinks is baloney, and then vice versa. But I think, you know, just as like a reasonable human being, you just accept the fact that you believe what you believe, I believe what I believe, and then we coexist in spaces and we respect each other.
Why do you think it's so hard for people to find their purpose?
Because that's a good question. I feel like people aren't thinking as much anymore, you know?
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
You kind of just scroll on TikTok, you know? It's almost scary how much control people can have over you.
It's what I just said earlier. There's just recklessness. It's like, I didn't fix where I'm at. And even as you age, you kind of shift, and it changes what you're thinking of or what you find important versus what you find less important or what makes you feel more purposeful. Mm-hmm. But if you're not looking at everything that like for you, how it makes sense, and you're just looking around at content, people, other things, he said that, she said that, it's just recklessness. Yeah. And I think most people are existing in that space of just like, watching everything else.
That's true. And also, people are just really distracted. Like, you don't go to school and they teach you like what's your purpose of life? You go to school and they teach you how to be a good worker. Your whole life is designed around you being able to have a career and to be a useful member to this economy. So like, it'd be different if like there were 8 courses in school and your whole semester was about finding your purpose, meaning learning about any type of spirituality, religion, faith, like, but it isn't realistically. So like the distraction sometimes is your work. The distraction sometimes is all the things in between that don't have anything to do with faith, with spirituality, with finding your purpose. So like anything that's taking you away from that could be considered distraction. I just feel like since we're not taught that, most people don't feel like it's a necessity to find that. And honestly, sometimes people just distract themselves with like momentary happiness, you know, buy a new bag, get a new phone, like discover this, go travel this place, like go out to the club tonight. So like if you distract yourself enough, you could pretty honestly, if you distract yourself enough, you could act like you have no problems successfully.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people do that.
That's scary though.
Yeah, it is pretty scary.
That's a scary one for me.
It's nice that like I'm pretty good at distracting myself, especially if I feel like there's a huge problem, there's nothing I can do about it. But like there's times where like, come on, bro, like let's focus on the problem at hand and let's handle it, no matter how hard it is.
Yeah. What do you think your purpose is?
At
least at this point in your life.
Yeah, so like, you know, in a religious perspective, it's all kind of set pretty clear. Like my purpose is to just praise God and to hit my daily prayers and to make sure I obey his command. But in a more worldly sense, I think my purpose is to a certain extent, anytime you entertain, your purpose is to distract people. You're a distraction. You feel me? The entertainment's not necessary. But I think in a more important sense, like I hope that it's weird. Like, even though I stream all the time and like what I do is just entertainment, people will tell me lessons they've learned from things I've done.
Yeah. And
so like, even if it's just setting a good example, having a very positive impact on the people around me, like I give people like pretty positive daily reminders on my stream. Like, I think my purpose is just to be a source of good and something positive in this world as best as I know how. Like, no one's perfect, but like, as the more I could do that, the better. Do you think like a legacy is important? Like, what do you think about like you having a legacy?
A legacy as far as what people view or know of me?
Yeah, like how people think of you when they think of Bradley Martyn.
So I think that's kind of what your purpose will become, right? Because, you know, one of my favorite quotes of all time, not you know as in you should know, but one of my favorite quotes of all time is, people won't remember what you said, but they'll remember how, it's a Maya Angelou quote, they'll remember how you made them feel. Mm-hmm. There's more to that quote than that. But that quote sort of makes me think about, okay, how could I live my life in a way that is able to help people live their life better than before? Mm-hmm. And then what can they learn, or what could they get, or what sort of information, or what did I say? Because a lot of my success, I look back and I was like tracking if I'm reading what people are saying, and then people come up to me in person. It's always related to the things that I said. Like, yeah, I did the weightlifting stuff. I did the crazy lifting with girls and all the viral stuff. But the people would come to me and say, oh, I watched this video and you spoke about this, and it made me be like, I believe in this, or I looked at my life differently, or I started a business because I saw it this. And I noticed all that stuff just was like, there's more power there than like, oh man, it's cool, you jumped out of a pool or whatever the fuck you did. Mm-hmm. And well, I'm saying this all to say that I think legacy is that purpose. It's just kind of how it lives on, because life truly to me is about like sharing love and sharing moments and like helping other people learn through what you've learned, or them helping you through what they've learned. And then the people, obviously, who live on, your legacy following your death, right? That's how people translate that. You know, that guy who said, I watched this video, you changed my life, or I started my business, or I didn't take my life because I heard what happened to you and your father, whatever it was in my past. And now their life is different, and their life is affecting other lives that I'll never know, I'll never hear of as I'm gone. Right? So that's what legacy to me sort of is. And that's what I think, if we call it important, I think that is important, because I think that's what ultimately changes the world.
Yeah. So like,
even on a small scale,
even the examples you gave are like, those are short term. Like, somebody saw something, and in the short term, it had an impact on something they did. Yeah. It's weird. So I have this new theory, is why I asked you. Like, I think that legacy is not as important as people make it seem. And the only reason I say that is because like, how many people do we remember from like the last 100 years?
Do we like people?
Yeah, like just general public.
How we as a whole recognize?
A couple of hundred maybe, right?
Yeah.
The Michael Jacksons, the Kobe Bryants, even the evil ones like the Hitlers and like that. So like if you did something extremely good or extremely bad, you may be remembered if you reach the top couple hundred. Now, if we go back 1,000 years, maybe you include a couple kings and queens that were relevant, maybe a couple master slave. Let's go back a few thousand years. Maybe some prophets, maybe some religious figures. It's very hard to be remembered even tomorrow, let alone 10 years from, let alone 50 years from now by the general public. People's memory is like this. Do you watch sports?
Yes. Yeah.
Who's your favorite team?
On which sport?
Like basketball, for example.
I mean, I have to say Lakers by default because I've lived here for so long.
So like, even if I asked you like name 8 people on the 2012 Lakers team, you probably forgot some of them even existed. Like most people, who is Sasha Vujacic? I don't know. He was like
I've definitely heard that name a ton.
Yeah, he was like the 9th man when Kobe, Powell, and Bynum played there. And the only reason I remember that is because I watched every single game back that year, but most people would not remember. But if you ask people during that year who Sasha was, they would say, oh, he's a Laker. So like people's memory fades so fast that even his legacy has faded. And took a stray at Sasha for no reason. But like it made me a little pessimistic that anything I do will be remembered. So my priority more so is just like anything I could change right now. Realistically, like how many Michael Jacksons are there going to be? There's not many. So like most people's legacy will fall a lot shorter than they believe it will to the general public. Now to their family, to their close friends, you kind of hope that will always be there, but you don't need to be a public figure to have an impact around the people around you.
Of course not, yeah.
So the reason why I say that is like my theory has developed, and I genuinely feel like the way to have the best legacy is to die. No cap. I think if you survive till 85 and die of natural causes, it doesn't hit the same. I think if you get gunned down at 35, die of cancer at 45, your impact, if you only cared about legacy, that's, I think, because no fun is crazy. Like, I love Kobe. I cried when he died.
Yeah, that was a weird
genuinely
day.
love him with all my heart. I think that death or not, his legacy would have lasted hundreds of years. That's my hope. But I think the way in which he passed, I think his legacy will last thousands, in my opinion. And that's probably me glazing because I love Kobe. But it's interesting how legacy works and what people choose to remember about you.
Yeah, well, it's also weird that like just the fact that you believe, and I'm not even saying that you're wrong, that death makes it more substantial. Is like that's kind of
like we even see it sometimes, like when an artist dies and immediately like their numbers go up on Spotify and stuff
every
like that.
time.
And like it's not usually a short-term bump. Like depending on the community they've built, sometimes like it's like that's just their community is just tripled in size as a result of their death. But like legacy is such an interesting thing. I think I used to really care about it, and now I don't care so much. So like I care a lot more about like what I could say or do today that could maybe help somebody. But like, you know, realistically, like people aren't gonna remember who I am. So, but 100 years from now,
it's interesting to me because you mentioned earlier about Islam and that like this is the life that you live for the next life, essentially. Mm-hmm. Isn't that not is it counterintuitive in a sense?
Nah, like okay, my thoughts on legacy are pretty independent of that because like if you thought of it from an Islamic POV, it doesn't matter. Like the only thing that matters is the good deeds you take into the next life, like and the bad deeds you take into the next life. Yeah. And so like when the day of judgment comes, literally nothing else will matter. So I'm really just thinking about it more from like a worldly perspective. But like, yeah, I like asking people that because like I feel like everyone kind of has a different opinion. Yeah. And like sometimes if I hear your opinion, it might change the way I think about mine.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, it's just what are we doing here that just has an impact on what's happening here today? Like the goal should be to give and to share love as much as you can so that other people along the way kind of, I feel a little bit better. That's all you really can do. Because you also can't obsess or think like, oh, what is my legacy going to be and how am I going to be remembered? It's kind of like, people are going to remember you.
I'm curious. Do you think people think that, or do you think they just live their lives and then it happens? I'm curious if people like there might be people that have tried to manufacture what that is for them, or like what legacy they leave behind.
Oh, do I think that there's people who are like wealthy or famous that have like tried to make like
Probably, huh?
there has to be to some extent. I don't know how much you can really do. I mean, I guess it's all it's what you do here.
Mm-hmm.
So then I don't know, are they like doing bogus donations, be like, I'm such a good person. They did nothing good their whole life. They robbed people, they stole, and all of a sudden they're like, here's $1 billion of this, you know?
That was the grift for a while, honestly.
Which one?
Like the billionaire giving away all my money grift. Like, but they would give it to a foundation they completely owned and ran, and it was a huge tax write-off. I remember that work. That was effective for like 10 years.
Yeah, well, that's, oh God. The world's weird, man. What do you think really matters then?
That's a good question. I think it's going to depend. It's different for everybody. Like when you ask a lot of people, their answer is happiness. Yeah. And that's interesting to me because you could be happy doing a lot of up things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't think it's happiness. But maybe I also say that out of like I'm not being completely grateful because I've never really been sad in life. Like I've always kind of been neutral to happy. So like, I don't know, maybe if somebody has dealt with like significant sadness, depression like that, like they might think like dead ass, like they just want to be happy. That's their goal. But to me, I just want my life to be complete when I'm done. I want it to have meant something.
But what makes the life complete?
Like I have goals and desires. I want to do them all. And like, I don't have to have $1 billion or I don't have to have 1 billion followers or whatever. Like there's no metric that's going to help me feel like I got there. But like, I really want to feel like everything I set out to do, I didn't get distracted. I didn't lose focus and I didn't fail. Like I really went out there and succeeded. And so that will make me feel like everything was complete. But it's crazy. Like things change so much. Like if you asked me 10 years ago, I wanted to be the GM of the Raptors. Like I was in the corporate world just trying to win the Toronto Raptors their first ever championship. And like, so it's weird now that YouTube's worked out and I dropped out of school and I'm doing all this streaming now, like you never really know. Yeah. Like people dead ass graduate with film degrees and work in completely different avenues. Yeah. You don't really know where life's going to take you, but I do want to feel like I didn't fuck up. Like I don't want to have regrets when I'm done. Like I want to feel like I completed everything I wanted to.
Yeah.
That will make me, that will make me happy. I feel like that make me feel like my life had purpose. That's my meaning. Yeah.
Purpose is, like you said, the person who went to school for this and now they're doing that. Purpose is very like non-linear. Just keeps, like even as you get older, I really want to do this. It could be completely different than what you're doing now. Mm-hmm. But did you start on YouTube originally?
Yeah. You know what's crazy? I started as an NFL plug channel in 2008.
Yeah, I was looking back.
Yeah. I like used to take clipped moments like that. Like Marshawn Lynch had that big 60-yard run. You know the one where he stiff-armed the nigga on the Saints? And the commentator was like, get off of me. Yeah. That was my biggest clip. So I posted that like right as it happened. And this shit blew up. And I'm looking at hundreds of thousands of views. And every time the NFL would copyright it, and I would just get right back at it. So like, but I didn't think nothing of it. I wasn't getting paid. I just thought like, yo, this is fire. Let me share it.
Yeah.
So like, that's how my brain worked. So eventually Call of Duty commentary just kind of popped up on the scene. And I felt like I could do it. Now, but at the time, my voice was real squeaky. So instead of jumping straight into commentary, I edited for people. So like you would get a couple of trick shot clips and stuff like that. And then you would send it to me and I'd put together a montage to showcase your skills. So I got proficient in a whole bunch of stuff like 3D modeling, animation, VFX. Like I learned how to do scripts and stuff like that on After Effects to automate different functions.
How are you finding the creators to edit for?
I played with them.
Okay.
So I wasn't good enough as a player to be that guy. So I just found my lane. My role was to edit for people. That's what I was good at. So like I would find like, and if you can align with a good player, get a crazy clip and your name is on the montage because you put it together the right way. And even if the player sucked, you could cook and make the player look way better than he really was if you just edit it properly.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. So for 3 years I did that until I finally hit puberty. And once I was like 14, 15, I just started doing my own commentary. So I bounced around a lot from COD. I did a lot of GTA when it came out, GTA 5. Watch Dogs, The Last of Us. Like I began to get really good at games. I would get top 1,000 on The Last of Us, and then I would tell people how. I would get top 50 on Ghost Recon, and I would tell people how. And so like, game. Yeah, Ghost Recon, bro. What? It's one of my favorite franchises.
Yeah.
All the Tom Clancy games, goated.
Yeah.
So I did that for long enough, and eventually I found a home on NBA 2K. And at first I was the My GM guy. I don't know if you've ever played that mode.
No, I suck. I don't play those kind of games.
Yeah,
I play shooters.
Yeah, me too. Nowadays.
Yeah.
So, but I think they call it My League now, but you're basically the GM of your team.
Yeah, I get it.
And it was low-key like a little ironic because I was trying to be the GM of the Raptors.
Yeah.
So like it made sense. So I'm doing YouTube on the side, being a fake GM. In real life, I'm in school studying to be a real GM. And so like that made sense for me. I did that for 3-4 years. And then eventually I pivoted because that was getting stale into like more park gameplay. So that's probably what you've seen before, where like you get your creative player and you get in the park. And I began to get known as the best shooter in the game. So I would have these crazy games I would drop. I was one of the first people to start dropping like 95-point games on the pro.
How does somebody even get good at shooting in a game? It's just you're not shooting in real life, you're shooting in a game. Is it the timing?
Yeah, so there's like different tricks you can do with the way you create your jump shot, to the badges you get, to your build that would make it very easy for you to just hit everything.
Okay.
So I would drop videos to show people how, and as I would, they would get patched. And so like I kind of became the guy that was really good at shooting, but I didn't have no bag though. I couldn't really dribble. Like I didn't have a big man, but so when people needed some shooting advice, they came to me.
So it's the same thing like in COD now where like you try and find the meta gun.
Yeah.
You can have a meta build.
Kind of like that, yeah.
And then it gets patched and you got to find a new one.
Yeah, but the benefit though to switching genres for me from my GM to park was that park audience was way bigger. So like some of the biggest people you even know on the internet now started on park, from Aiden to even the guys like you might remember like Fredo.
Yeah.
He was really big. To like most of AMP, Duke, Davis, Phantom, me. Like even if you think of the two hype guys like the Jessers, Cash, like everybody, there's so many people that started from that community. Queso started from that community.
What? I didn't know that.
But so it's like, it's very underrated, but a lot of some online greats started from the park community. So like, I really felt like everything kind of opened up for me when I started to succeed in that genre. And then eventually, you know, you do anything long enough, you get a little tired of it. And I found a way to pivot to more like IRL content. So that's more of what I do now.
Yeah. How'd you get linked up with the AMP thing?
Me, Phantom, Davis used to play 2K together all the time. Yeah. So like if I needed somebody for a video, I'd hit up Davis, Phantom. And Davis they used to call themselves dynamic duos with Duke Dennis. So like him and Duke had a connection. So that was the original four right there.
Makes sense.
So when we started doing content IRL, we just drew from like our friends. So I hit up Davis hit up Duke, we hit up Phantom. So like we've done stuff IRL together before. We shot videos, like we spend hours and hours on Discord and even back in the day on Skype playing with each other. So like it felt comfortable. You remember Skype?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And then like I think it was like a year into it, Phantom was like, yo, we should add somebody. And so he presented Kai. I seen a few of Kai's campus videos on my timeline before. I thought he was funny, but I was like, yo, we don't need another member. But he's like, let's just invite him over. He doesn't have to, you know, say no commitment. He said he's down. So Kai slid. Back then he was doing like ding dong ditch videos, like campus videos, like girl content, like that. Like he was low key cooking on campus. Like he was doing the type of content I feel like if you're on YouTube and you're like in a campus and university and dorms, you should be able to cook with that type of stuff because it's just like so good for interactions. So he over the course of a weekend convinced all of us that like it made sense. He completely elevated. Kai. Yeah, he completely elevated.
So he came in and was like, yo, we should do this.
No. He didn't. He was shy. He didn't say nothing. He would, when we was at the crib, so we used to crash at my original crib when I first moved to Atlanta. We didn't have a house or nothing like that. So anytime people came down, yo, we got an AMP shoot. Everybody comes down for 3 days. They just crash at my house. You know, and Phantom takes the couch. Duke takes the other couch. Like Davis will sleep upstairs in the laundry room. Like we just crashed wherever. Like we just try to make it work. Kai wasn't even in the videos originally. The first meet he came to, he was just supposed to watch.
And before reference point, you knew those other guys for how many years before you guys met Kai?
Like 3, 4.
Just playing video games.
Yeah.
Got it.
And I think Phantom and Davis knew each other even longer, maybe like 5, 6. But
playing video games.
Yeah, just playing games with each other.
So cool. I have some good
That's
friends.
That's insane,
like
right?
Yeah.
So like, but Kai was able to contribute to the videos, not even being in them in ways that elevated them. So we had an iconic video now. It was a 21 video. It was really, really heated. we just went to a gym. We played a game of 21. And Davis and Duke had an iconic fight in that video that people will still remember to this day if they watch all the A&P videos. And in that video, like, I believe it was that video, Kai was on the sideline. He wasn't even supposed to be in the video. But like every time the camera whipped to him, he was like, oh, go guys, come on, yo. He just brought this energy. And like it made me laugh. And so I'm like, if this is making me laugh, there's no way our audience is not gonna find him hilarious. So we did a few other videos and he did the same thing. Like he just elevated whichever video. Like anytime a camera whipped in his direction, his energy was just so contagious. So after that, we're like, yeah, this nigga, he's amazing. We love him. Like this makes sense. And then, so that was 5. And then Chris used to be our editor and we told him to come down to some shoots. I think the first shoot he came down to was A&P makes a mixtape in 24 hours. And he cooked. Like he was on camera and you could tell he was shy, but he was hilarious.
Yeah.
And so we're like, bro, this nigga does not need to be editing. He needs to be on camera. So like he still edited, but now he became the 6th member of the group. And so that's kind of what makes it now. And I don't think it'll ever change. Yeah.
How does the group operate? Does A&P itself, like for example, I talk to guys like Banks and FaZe and I know FaZe doesn't necessarily pay the members. Does A&P take deals and then you guys take deals, or you guys take? Is it just kind of like a group? Or
yeah, it'd be nice if we get to the point where like we could pay each other out what we feel like we should get paid. You feel me?
Yeah.
But like every dollar we've made goes right back in, and things now the floodgates have finally opened. Thank God. Like we really just made AdSense, and then our apparel low-key kind of did really well too.
Yeah.
So like. That was our only revenue source for a while. But now we're getting like good brand deals that's bringing in money. Like we just did a Call of Duty game night.
Yeah.
Feel me? Like the game nights is easy for us because like we love playing games with each other. That's how we met.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to get paid to play. Bro, what layup? Especially games that we already play.
Yeah,
come on,
COD.
bro. That's like,
You like the new COD?
Yeah, that's probably my favorite COD in a while.
It's my favorite zombies of all time.
I haven't even touched the zombies
The
yet.
zombies are incredible.
See, I got to play that.
But I don't know how I feel. The matchmaking's so like, it's too much.
Yeah, but I don't play pubs. Like I'm not gonna randomly get on and play pubs. Like I'll blow my brains out.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm doing.
But like I'll play with friends, or like if there's a tournament or there's something interesting going on, like I'll hop on and play. But like if I just play pubs, like I dead ass would lose my mind.
Yeah,
That's just franchise fatigue for me though. I've played so much COD in my life.
Yeah, there's so much COD timing. Just get shot in the back too much with the side. I'm like, this.
Yeah,
but the zombies is so the spawns are back because the maps are kind of small.
Yeah.
But they're putting new maps in. But you have to play the zombies. It's actually incredible.
I played a bit of it at COD XP. They invited me out, but I don't think it's the same version everyone's playing now because it felt really easy back then. And I heard they made it a lot harder.
Nah, you can even make it harder, even harder.
Okay,
like it's a lot of fun. I know it's fun because I can play it by myself.
That's tough, bro. I'm glad they finally made a zombies that people enjoy because it's been a while.
Oh, it's been a long time, dude. But so A&P, so you guys had it. So how many years before Kai came in, and then it
was like I don't remember the exact timeline. It's probably like a year before Kai came in, and Chris came in around the same time too.
Okay.
And then once we got that, we eventually ended up getting a house together, and that changed the game.
That was the first Atlanta house.
Yes,
yeah.
But we rented that one. We blew that up, and then some things we can't talk about because lawsuits happen. And then we eventually, in what could only be described as a miracle, we needed to find a crib in 1 month because we were getting evicted. And at the time, everybody was spread apart. Every day I'm hitting a group chat. Yo, we're looking at these 2 homes. Who wants to come? If Phantom's free, he'll slide. If David's free, he'll slide. I went to every home. I'm hunting. And at the time I was doing a couple of videos on my YouTube channel, like looking for the new A&P home. Like those were like lighthearted, but behind the scenes, we were panicking. Because like I know people thought we had hella bread, but we don't have like $3 million to get like a fire crib.
Yeah.
And like we were getting to the point in terms of like people recognizing us that if we get a crib like on a normal street, it's over. Like crowds are gonna be outside, like swatted every day. So like we couldn't just get any crib. So now we needed a Gates, or we needed to be in the tuck a little bit. So that gets a lot more expensive. Yeah. So like we hunted, we finally found like a perfect crib, and it was $2.5 million. We could not afford it. None of us had that type of credit. We didn't have the credit that goes that long. We put this magical mortgage together that combined the powers of all of our credit.
What is that? Yeah, it sounds like some Power Rangers.
And the closing date got delayed 6 times because of difficulties. And the owners let us stay in the crib while we closed. No cap, like we had no business successfully getting that house. It made no sense at all, but we pulled it off. And after a 2.5 month period where no cap, I probably had to go into the bank every 2 days just to, hey, we need this document. Hey, we need you to sign this. Hey, we need you to approve this. We need you to send this here. It was a pain in the ass, but we finally did it. So that was the second crib. And then we own that now. So when we want to have a firework war, because that's what we want to do, we could do whatever we like. Yeah. And that kind of like opened the door for us a lot in terms of content we could do. You don't have to ask the permission of the owner so that we can bring a horse into Kai's room. Or if I want to have an Orby gun war, I don't have to ask permission for shit. We just do whatever we want.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you guys have like it does, because I saw you did a 50s thing.
Yeah, the Cuphead.
Yeah.
That was fun.
With
Cinna.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
You don't like it when people, do you love Cinna? What's going on here?
No, it's not love. She's a good friend. Yeah. I think just, it's weird. Like I can have good chemistry with a guy and then no one says anything. And then if I have good chemistry with a woman, like it's just like they're perfect for each other. They're perfect. Why are they not dating?
Yo, that's just the internet though. That's the internet, bro.
It sucks because like genuinely, like there's certain things I want to be able to do with her on camera, but I just know people are gonna take it a different way. I'm like, damn, bro. Like I don't want to have to, like, I just want to be myself.
So there's no spark there.
No, we're just friends, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I know you're celibate and all that, but like,
yeah, we're just dead ass friends, bro.
Guys, I just whenever I Google, like anytime I search you, the first thing that comes up is I'm just saying. Yeah. I mean, it's good content. It's good content.
Nowadays I don't even know what else to say because like I feel like people don't believe me. But It's like, how can I get people to believe me?
It doesn't matter.
How can you prove something's not what people think it is?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
So
Did she ever clean the dishes though?
Nah, she like goes out her way to not do anything like that just to make it.
Bro, that shit was funny. I watched some clips.
Nah, she's actually great though. She's good vibes, and I also just think she's a great content creator too. Yeah. Like, when the first thing people think about her when they think of her streams and content is like she has a great personality, and like when that's the first thing people think about you, you're gonna have a long career,
especially as a female.
100%.
Yeah.
So like. I'm proud of a lot of the growth she's had recently, but like she's been cooking, bro. No cap.
Out of AMP, who do you think is the most creative member?
The most creative is probably Kai in terms of like content. I think more conceptually, probably Chris.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who do you think's the funniest?
The funniest,
like not on camera, in real life, kind of.
The funniest to me is gonna be a tie between Davis and Duke. Bro, Davis and Duke behind the scenes are so funny. Like it's different because like people just see what they see on camera. So like their opinion on who's the funniest or whatever is probably gonna be different. But I live with these guys. Bro, Duke and Davis are some of the funniest niggas alive. I love him, man. But it's not like they're cracking jokes. It just could be something they're doing that makes me die laughing. But yeah, to me, it's probably those two. But it's close. I think Kai is also really funny. And Phantom could be funny too.
Yeah. So Kai's like kind of just almost reinventing streaming. Like
he is. He's kind of like the Mr. Beast of streaming now.
Yeah.
Low key, right?
Yeah. I mean, the people that I see the biggest, obviously Kai and Speed.
Yeah.
Speed is more, I mean, Speed, he just like travels so much. I don't see Kai traveling as much. But the production value of Kai stuff, I'm like, this is crazy. I saw him release some like trailer for, I mean, even his current trailers for the Mafia-thon thing with like Kim Kardashian, but he released a trailer for some video game, some
Elden Ring probably.
Nah, it was
it Sekiro?
Yeah.
And
I was just like, this After Effects thing he had to spend like tons of money.
Yeah, they're a lot of money.
So do you ever feel like you as a streamer, obviously you guys are in the same clique, but do you ever feel like you have to like, oh shit, I got to step my shit up?
Nah, because realistically, I can't spend like millions of dollars on a Mafia-thon the same way he does.
Right.
So like, I don't like, even regardless, I don't like comparing myself to anybody. I just try and do the best thing I can.
Yeah.
And that's going to look very different depending on like what streamers you watch. But even between Speed and Kai, like they're really great. In my opinion, the two best streamers in two completely different ways. But at the same time, they work really well together.
Oh, 100%.
So like it's a weird combination. Like you can't compare Kai and Speed streams at all. Kai, no cap, every day in his Mafia-thon so far has been doing 8 interesting things. If you look away for a second, you missed a fire piece of content. And like there's different segments and there's different guests coming in, and it feels so grand and the production's so big and the entertainment's so elite. Like he's so good at bouncing off other people, no matter who it is.
Yeah.
You could put like the most socially awkward nigga around him and he could make the most hilarious content around it, regardless of who the person is. That's special.
Yeah,
Most people don't have
100%.
that.
Yeah.
And then Speed has this way to connect to anybody, anywhere in the world, and bring the best out of them. Like anytime you watch a Speed stream, people are smiling and laughing. Like you get a sense of how grand he is by the people and what they're willing to do around him. And like he's also exceptional in so many random ways you wouldn't expect. The fact that he almost beat Noah Lyles in a race
that was nuts.
is insane.
But I was like, is the guy not trying though?
It doesn't matter. He shouldn't even come close. Nigga.
I know.
It's a streamer versus an Olympic athlete, bro.
I know.
It shouldn't have been that close.
And
in
low-key,
my
he didn't
opinion.
want to race him again. I was like, he knew that was scary. He didn't like that.
Yes. So like, I genuinely think they just provide such a different value, but like in a very great way. They complement each other. I hate when people like use it as a way to have them up against each other.
Yeah.
Because not only are they friends, but like, why can't there could be two greats? Why is it? You feel me? Like people always you always got to compare. It's like the Jordan versus LeBron thing. We can't just appreciate greatness.
Yeah. No, bro. It's. I just can't believe the fact. I just can't believe Kai could just sit in front of a desktop and just like make that much kind of insane content.
No cap.
That is impressive.
Yeah, he's a very
and also so he has where is his house at?
It's
his new house.
I don't want to give.
Well, don't.
Yeah, but it's like maybe 30 minutes from here.
Okay, so I watched DDG do some like background like behind the scenes, and there's like a giant room with like
it's hella production people there.
Like how big is this team?
That's not his team. He just outsourced that. But his actual team is very, very small.
Okay,
it's really just a couple people, tech and then assistant.
Okay,
and then everything else like he'll bring on people to do a big ass like commercial.
Yeah,
but like,
so is he planning on like using that whole house as like live stream
for this month? Yeah,
because that's what it looked like. The cameras were like around the entire property.
Yeah. So like if he walks into that room, like he'll show that camera.
Bro,
that's fucking nuts.
It's fucking crazy.
And bro, that's expensive too. Like it's weird. Like he could debt pocket all of that and like be filthy rich, but he's choosing to spend millions to make cool.
Yeah, that's the Mr. V spot.
That's crazy. Most people wouldn't, bro. Like 95% of people would not. They would pocket it.
But that's why they get to that level. Like it's great. They get to that level, but they don't go to that level where everyone goes, oh, what? Like, what is that?
Exactly.
So it makes sense. Because dude, I know that stuff's not cheap. Is it true that Kai really, like, his house is always hot, 90 degrees? Is that actually a thing?
Yeah, bro.
You were serious about that?
Bro, yes. You walk in his room, it's 90 degrees. I'm glad we got different thermostats in A&P house because we're all so
serious.
different. Yes. It was literally 90 degrees when I went there. It was really bad. But like, he's always been like that. And you know what's crazy? I run my rooms hot. So
but what's hot?
Like, I'll run it 73 most of the time.
All right,
that's above room temp. But like, I can sleep in hot conditions, so I don't even mind it. But I know most people prefer cold.
I can't, dude. I gotta have cold. My room's gotta be
most
cold.
People prefer cold.
90's nuts, bro.
Yeah, it's hot.
90's like a sauna.
Yeah, the AC deadass might not have worked on how extreme it was. There's a good chance. I don't know. Yeah.
But you said all his rooms has been like that.
Yeah, even if you go in his room in the A&P house, it's usually way hotter than everyone else.
Dude. All right, guys, this podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. I talked about this, but I'm going to continue to talk about it because it's very, very important and honestly never gets less important. Therapy, talk therapy, all forms of therapy, but specifically in this case, online talk therapy. It makes it really easy for you guys to get this done. You can do it from the comfort of your own home. You don't have to drive somewhere. You don't have to wait in traffic. There's no excuses. If it's something that you've thought about before, honestly, give it a shot. I cannot stress enough how important it is to get sort of not necessarily advice, but unbiased opinions on your situation outside of whatever's going on that you're trying to figure out, whatever you're trying to work through, whatever you're trying to deal with. Getting it from the people in your circle, in and around you, sometimes is not always the best because there's biases, there's, sort of opinions that are related on the situation specifically, maybe for those people, not necessarily for you, and how you need to be able to actually process something efficiently. So if you guys want to give it a shot, go to betterhelp.com/RAWTALK to get 10% off your first month right now. Again, it's betterhelp.com/RAWTALK to get 10% off your first month right now. Let's get back into this podcast.
Yeah.
So, okay. So go back. I want to go back to fitness stuff with you.
Sure.
Do you have any specific goals now?
Yeah. So, yes. So I really want to get to 185, 190. I think I'll be comfortable at that weight. Especially because I'll have some loose skin. So then like, I'm really probably like 180, 178. And I think that's like a good weight for me.
Would you ever do that surgery to fix the stuff?
It depends on how much I have. Maybe, but the idea of surgery scares me because then you got to take a whole bunch of drugs to not feel things. And then,
yeah, I get you.
Yeah, that scares the shit out of me. So if there's any way not to, I won't. But like, I'm open to it if the side effects aren't too crazy. I haven't researched it, so I don't know.
Yeah. So you want to be like 180, 190. Do you have any like weightlifting goals, or it's just like number wise?
Not like goals in terms of what I want to lift per se, but like I've just been working through different programs. Like I'm on Jeff Nippard's program right now. He has a push pull legs that I really like. It's fun for me. It's like a good combo of like compound heavy lifts and then a lot of like accessory stuff too. And then I'll sub in some workouts that I feel like might be better than the ones he gives. Or like he has a bunch of reverse flies and I tore my shoulder doing one of them. So I just hate that exercise.
Yeah.
So I was like, if I don't want to do it, I'll just sub in some other. But the lifting part has been really fun. I wish I had someone to go with every day, but my schedule is so that's unrealistic. So I just solo it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your schedule's just because streaming.
Yeah. Like
how many hours you normally stream a day?
I try and go live almost every day. Usually that ends up meaning like 5 days a week, but maybe like 6 hours on average. If it's an IRL stream, it'll be shorter. So that'll reduce the average. Like it might be like 3, 4, or 5 hours. Yeah. If it's a stream at my desktop, it'll be a little longer, maybe 6, 7, 8 hours.
How do you structure what content you make? You just like, you have like an idea the day before y'all want to talk about
this?
this?
So like what I'll do is I'll put together a fat list on my phone. One of my ideas includes you. Yeah. I was going to ask you about it. I wanted to get like 6 huge bodybuilders and then like just like struggle while everyone's just pumping, like just screaming, just a whole bunch of testosterone.
On live?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just working in with a whole bunch of bodybuilders, just like fucking throwing chalk in the air, just like, but like, yeah, I'll have an idea. Like I want to do Brazilian.
That would be such a funny clip.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, I'll think like, oh, I want to do Brazilian jiu-jitsu. It's like, okay, what's the most interesting way I could do that? And so I'll start to build out what that stream will look like. And then like, sometimes it's like the place that makes it interesting. Sometimes it's the person I'm doing it with that makes it interesting. But like, I have thousands of ideas. So like anytime, so for the next week, I'll see like Friday, this is what I'm doing. Saturday, this is what I'm doing. Sunday, this is what I'm doing. Monday, this is what I'm doing. Tuesday, this is what I'm doing. And then at the end of each day, like on Sunday, I'm going to a car show. So like there's a few things I need to set up for that tonight. I'm going to call people, reach out to people, make sure things are organized for like that stream and the next one and the next one. So it's a little bit of a DIY little setup that I use, but it works for me. And things move around so much, especially when you deal with content creators. Like you're free this day, and then like
trust me, I know.
So
that's the same thing with. I mean, it's different. Obviously, we're not live, but it's the same sort of vibe. Just getting someone to show up for a podcast.
Yeah.
Like, the timing is crazy.
Mm-hmm. So
do you think that streaming is harder than a 9 to 5 then, or what?
It depends. Like that's a silly convo because 9 to 5s is what are you doing? Are you the COO of Facebook, or are you a grocery bagger?
Right.
There's a different levels of like, and so the problem with that conversation is that people act like just because you'd rather do one thing, the question is it harder? Not which one you'd rather do. If the question is which one you'd rather do, everybody would rather stream.
Right.
It's better.
Yeah.
But like, it doesn't mean that's easier. You feel me? So like, if we're just speaking on difficulty, there are some challenges that come with streaming. And there's also some additional challenges that come once you get to a certain level. So, which like some people just aren't privy to. That being said, I think like, if you ask me what's more difficult, roofing in the summer or streaming, roofing.
Oh, 100%.
Like, obviously.
Yeah.
You feel me? Some are going to be difficult for physically difficult. Like, we can't underestimate how mentally difficult some jobs are too. Like an engineer, for example, like they have to solve some pretty significant problems. You're not out there lifting heavy things in the heat and drenched of sweat, but that's also an incredibly difficult job, depending on what type of engineer you are, obviously.
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
I just asked the question because I know it gets people riled up.
Yeah, like,
it
and like
pisses
people can
off.
be giving the wrong answer too. I feel like, first of all, I feel like a lot of streamers grift and they're like, oh, obviously 9 to 5. Really, bro? Like, you think a cashier is harder? Stop it, bro. But like, I think if we have the conversation for real, it's nuanced. There's gonna be some jobs
It's
that's way
too
easier.
nuanced, yeah.
Yeah, and we gotta stop acting like 9 to 5 folk. First of all, I know a lot of 9 to 5 niggas that make way more money than all my streaming friends, bro. These 9 to 5 niggas get to the bag too. Okay, I feel like when people think 9 to 5, they think less than, which is weird because people that have 9 to 5 jobs on average make more than entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs make way less on average. People just have this idea because the only entrepreneurs they hear of are the very successful billionaires. They just think everybody's real rich.
Yeah.
But like, as an entrepreneur, you know what it is. There's a lot of responsibility and difficulty that comes with it, and a lot of risk. And when the shit goes wrong, you're the one holding the bag.
Yeah.
Like,
bro, check this out. I'm getting sued right now. You want to know why?
Oh,
I've been sued many times.
God.
Sued right now because some dude got thrown on the floor in front of my gym and I wasn't even there.
He got thrown on the floor by another person?
By another person. So it'd be like, imagine like, and I get this lawsuit and I'm like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, negligence, all this crazy that I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, it'd be like if I told you right now, yo, bro, let's go down to that Equinox. You beat me up, I'm gonna sue Equinox and the owner.
Yeah.
In front of the gym.
I mean, they'll fail, but like,
yeah, of
it's just the
course.
fact that you have to deal with it is annoying.
The fact that I have to pay a lawyer to deal with it is crazy.
Can't you sue him after the lawsuit
I will.
so he pays his
For sure I
lawyer
will.
fees? Yeah.
For sure I will.
It's weird, bro. Like, I feel like I should be more angry. Like, when people f with me, I feel like I forgive them. Like, I lose interest and forgive people way too fast. I don't know if you're like that. Let's say somebody hits your car. This happened to me recently. I was in a parking lot. This guy hit my car. In the moment, I was furious because it was my last remaining car that worked, first of all, because the rest of them had oil leaks here, getting modded here, a tree fell on this car here. So I was tight. It was a little dinger though. It wasn't nothing crazy. Just rewrap it, buff it out, a few $1,000s, maybe a few weeks in the garage, right? But then like the next day I woke up and I was like, I know I'm not going to do about it. Like, I'm not going to sue this nigga. I'm not even going to file an insurance claim. Like, dude, I know I'm not going to, like, I just woke up not caring, bro. But in the moment, I was tight, bro. I was not happy at that guy.
Dude, I guess it depends. Because I've gone through a lot of shit that I just let go.
Yeah.
And then you get to a point where you're like, nah, f that. I need to start making examples of people, bro. Like,
okay,
nah.
let me tell you this example.
Yeah.
I let my friend Ash came to Atlanta. He said, yo, I need a Hellcat. I said, I can't get you a Hellcat on this notice, but I can let you use my truck, which has a Hellcat engine. It's a TRX. So he takes my TRX. This lady on her phone, she's distracted and admitted to it, by the way, smashes into the back of my truck. Okay.
I love those trucks, by the way.
Yeah. They're amazing. It's probably my favorite vehicle.
Yeah.
And in the moment, I'm tight. I'm thinking of all the ways I'm gonna sue her. Bro, tell me how I find out she doesn't have insurance. So she hit $100,000 truck, no insurance. And so like I hit up my manager hits up a lawyer, and they tell me my options, and they're like, no point in suing her. You're gonna end up spending $10,000. You're not gonna get it back. I said, okay, so whatever. And so my insurance said they're not gonna handle it because I wasn't the nigga driving. And so I was like, damn, bro. I bring my truck to the shop. They say, oh, she hit the frame. So even though the damage doesn't look crazy, $27,000.
No, that's the whole truck.
Bro, I said, gang, like, so like, and I'm like, do I want to be an asshole or do I just not care? So I just chose not to care. But I really think there's gonna come a point where I choose to be on one of these situations.
You will.
No cap.
Because it's at some point you're like, bro, I can only take so much.
Yeah.
I can only get so many times.
And people think, especially when you got bread, they think like you shouldn't have no problems. And I think that's part of it too. Like the nigga that hit my car in the parking lot was like, bro, you have a Tesla. You're going to be okay. It's like, yeah, I know I'm going to be okay, bro. But you can't tell me that after hitting my car in the parking lot.
You got a Tesla. You're fine.
Yeah, I said, I know I'm not struggling financially, bro. But you just hit my car, bro. This is my baby. So how about you don't tell me how to feel in this situation, nigga?
Yeah, that's crazy as Wait, so you let that guy just go?
Yeah. Bad. Like it's weird. So this is actually, so he pulled up to the dealership where I bought my Ferrari just to look at cars. So just to give you the context, you're driving around in a lot where this car is $1 million, this car is 100K, this is 500K. You know how careful you got to be parking that. You're like, I'm not taking no chances. I'm not hitting a McLaren. There was a Cohensick dealership in that lot. Like, I'm not hitting anything.
Well, this must have been out Westlake area or something.
No, this is in Atlanta.
Oh, it's in Atlanta. Okay,
yeah, it was like it was a Rolls Royce dealership attached to a Lambo dealership, attached to a Cohensick dealership, attached to a Aston Martin dealership, and then they all used cars. So Ferraris, Porsches, whatever else you wanted. So like, I parked where there was no cars. I don't like taking that risk. This nigga decides to hit my car, and I'm mind blown. So that's the context. I'm like, damn, you don't even want to be careful in this parking lot? Seriously? Bruh, I let him go anyway. Like, it was a ding. It might be a few $1,000s to fix. And he was calling his mom, panicking. He was like 22, 23.
Oh.
And like, he was in a beater. So like, I know what that was like. So like, I just needed to get my anger out on him in that moment. Feel me? I came out on time, and as soon as he hit my car, I walked out with my phone like this. I recorded the damages.
He came out the Karen.
I recorded the damages.
Say that again. What's your name?
And I caught on camera. He was like, "It was my fault. I know it was my fault. I know it was my fault." I was like, "I got that nigga." So if I wanted to be, I could 360 slam dunk him in court, but I just let him go. It is what it is.
Nah, that's. Yeah. I guess it depends on the person. But I guess it's like if someone that you know could take advantage of you, and someone keeps taking advantage of you, and you can get them back.
Yeah, if it's repetitive, I'd probably feel away. Now, if he hit another one of my cars, it's over for him. But like,
goes down the street.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy. My brain started thinking of content. I was like, bro, I should invite him over and have him run through a driving school. I think he'd be down to do it. So
you got all his info. You can hit him for that.
Yeah, I was going to, but I never ended up doing it. So I might still do it. I don't know.
Do you like doing podcasts? Do you just like because almost like live streaming is just like a really long podcast.
Yeah, but like there's a chat, so it doesn't feel too long. Honestly, I don't even realize I'm live until 5 hours in. Time just flies. But at the 5 hour mark, I always think like, how long has it been? And it's always 5 hours.
So what do you think are? I've asked a bunch of streamers this kind of stuff. I've had them on the pod, but what do you think are the most important things to really build an audience?
You got to be consistent, and then you have to be really good on other platforms, primarily short form, reels, TikTok, shorts.
Yeah, it's all clips now.
Yeah, and not just that, like you have to, like people can't just see your clips; they have to see your clips and want to go to the Twitch. You get what I'm saying? The best example in modern history is when Speed first blew up. Do you remember how he did it? He was
Ronaldo stuff.
Nah, this is pre-Ronaldo.
Pre-Ronaldo.
He was playing NBA 2K. He was also a 2K YouTuber. It's crazy how deep it goes. But he was getting subbed to, and he was about to hit a milestone, and everybody unsubbed. And he's like, "Stop unsubbing! Everybody, stop unsubbing!" And the clip went crazy, but it wasn't
did that
just
again recently.
Yeah, to deal with him every time now. But at the time, people were like, "This is hilarious! He was about to hit a milestone." His chat trolled him. Great clip, but the clip made people want to go to the stream.
Yeah.
So he went from like a few 100,000 subs to like in a few days hit 1 million. Like it was like if you were in the space at the time, you knew it was happening because of everybody was watching him at the time. Like who the f- is this new guy, and why is everybody talking about him? So like his chat kept trolling him. So like we can get a clip on this podcast, but how do I explain it? Like it has to inspire them to want to go there.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
like the content of the clip has to be like, oh, I want to see more of this.
Yes. So like if for example, I'm doing a stream and let's say the clip is I break a monitor, right? Interesting clip. Maybe I got really angry, rage clip. But if the next thing I say is, yo, bro, like next stream, I'm gonna have to try really hard to not break a monitor. Now they're thinking like, yo, I gotta go to see if he breaks a monitor. So you just made the clip way more valuable. So like you have to figure out that. And then once you get that, you're gonna be able to convert all the short form people to long form people. And then once you do that, bro, you're cooking. You're good.
Yeah. So it's got the hook, but the organic hook.
Yeah.
Also coupled with the content that is like viral in nature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to spend a little bit of time in the space to get a sense of like what is going to work and what's not going to work.
Yeah.
And then you got to study, bro. You got to be a student of the game. If you're not studying, you're cooked.
How do you think, especially as it's evolved, like if you're not on it as it grows or as it goes in a different direction, like specifically, like, I was I'm 35, been doing it for like 15 years. So if you're not watching or if you're not on like the pulse of like what's like the content that's people are really watching now, or like the platforms that people are on, it's like you do get good.
over.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it changes so much. Next year is gonna be very different, so the advice will change. But like right now, that's the best thing you could do, and anybody could do that. You could. I would say don't even worry too much about long form until you have short form figured out, because it'll be good experience, but you won't see growth. Like YouTube is tough. It's a tough game. You can crack it if you have enough experience and you studied enough. Twitch is damn near fucking impossible without the help of short form and other platforms. Like streaming is very tough if people don't. So like you could stream and then like, let's say this is a good example. Just because people know who you are doesn't mean they're going to show up to your stream.
For sure.
Like I know, I don't want to give names because I don't want to take shots at nobody, but there's like very famous celebrities that will stream on Twitch and get like 500 viewers.
Yeah.
But like on their IG, they'll get like 800,000 likes per in-feed. So like, it doesn't mean just because people know who you are, they're going to show up to the stream. You have to give them a reason, and they have to also know to expect you. You feel me? So whether it's turning noties on or they know every day at 8 p.m. he goes live, like that helps. So like, yeah, there's some strategy that goes into it for sure. People don't like completely recognize.
So how do you think you convert like a large, like if you're large on Instagram, how do you convert it? You just don't let people know you're there? Or the content that you post almost has to be indicative of the fact that you're streaming somewhere?
I would say you have to get good at reels if you're large on Instagram, like really good. Like at capturing people's attention, good hook, and then being able
But as reels from your stream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few streamers that do that really well. Ron is a good example.
Yeah.
He posts a lot on his IG, and it's a lot of stuff that happens on stream. So when you see it on IG, it makes you want to go to his stream. So like, you got to get creative, but like that's what studying is. The only reason I know that is because I see what everyone's doing, what's working and what's not working. So that will inform your decision a lot.
Because I've noticed it's weird, man. Like followers don't mean as much as they used to. It's almost like
I don't, because it's like if you've been doing it for 15 years, someone that followed you 15 years ago, the odds they're still watching to this day, it's not high.
Yeah.
So you have to keep getting new viewers too.
Yeah.
But like, you know, realistically, even the way you consume content, like you don't watch or do the same thing forever.
No.
So like the content you've done has changed in a lot of ways over the years as well. So you just have to find ways to appeal to different audiences, and then find ways to also keep your existing audience really happy with the content you do. It's a tough balance, but that's like a future problem. Most people just starting out, you don't even need to think about that.
Yeah.
But like once you've been in the game for a while, those are the type of thoughts you need to start having.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did anyone teach you how to be good at any of this stuff, or you just figured it all out just through your experience?
Nah, I just learned, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked to people. I learned that like, I'm still learning to this day. I realized I used to think I was a whiteboard guy, but now I learned like I'm a really collaborative thinker. So I'll think better bouncing ideas off other people.
Yeah.
You don't even really have to say nothing. I'll just talk, and sometimes I'll land on some fire. And then, but like, I know I don't know everything. So I'll ask for your opinion. Your opinion, I might be like, no, you're wrong. Or I might think, that's interesting. I never thought about it that way. So like, we don't know how to do any of this. There's no blueprint.
Yeah.
You don't like, even like, how do you know when the next hire is supposed to be? There's no blueprint. You don't know if you need a creative guy, you need someone to help run ops. You don't know if you need an assistant. There's no one telling you when you run your own, when it makes sense for you to do anything. You just have to start trying. So like, experience helps, but also I think having friends helps, because if I don't know, maybe I can ask you and see like, hey, do you have an assistant? When do you feel like it's necessary?
Yeah.
And that might help me make my decision. So like, some of the roles I've created and the jobs I've tried, I just took shots in the dark, and most of the time they work out. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but that's okay. Like, as long as like you're figuring it out, like it's not like rap where you know what you have to do to succeed. There's a blueprint for that.
Yeah.
It's not like real estate. It's not like content's different in that you can see what other people have done, but there's no one way to blow up.
Yeah. And it's constantly changing.
All the time.
That's just
man.
like forever changing. So stressful.
Even remember 4 years ago, we thought like shorts and like we thought that was going to take over the world. But then the short platforms started trying to become long form platforms and doing it unsuccessfully. And the long form platforms try to become short platforms and largely have done it unsuccessfully. I don't even know if they know what they're doing, but like,
yeah.
But like, yeah. So like, as they're learning and like as things change, you got to keep up with it.
Yeah.
And it's weird. Like when a new feature drops, usually that's the best time to do. Do you remember back in the day when they first dropped 4K on YouTube? If you dropped a 4K YouTube video, they promoted your to everybody.
Crazy views.
But like back then, niggas didn't even have 4K cameras.
Yeah.
So I knew people that learned quick because they studied, rendered their video in 4K, even though you shot in 1080p, just upscaled this, and it got promoted to way more people.
Just because the file recognizes.
Exactly. But the only reason they would have known that was because they were in tune, they were studying. So like some people don't do that, and you'll miss all the opportunities along the way.
Yeah.
Literally.
You missed the wave. That's for sure. Are there any waves you feel like you've missed? You're like, damn, looking back, I wish I would have done that.
There's a lot of waves I just didn't participate in. Like, the one wave I think I missed was all the streaming deals everybody was getting. Yo, I was on a precipice of getting a couple deals, and they fell through last minute. I was like, oh.
Like for which company? Like the whole Kick thing?
Nah, I never got a serious offer from Kick, because most of the Kick deals I know involved gambling or had gambling options. There was a few people that I know there was an exception because they just had a ton of motion, but most of them did involve like the stake, and I didn't want to do that.
Got it.
But like, you know, YouTube was throwing deals at one point, Twitch was throwing deals, Rumble was throwing, Facebook, I did have a Facebook deal, so I got paid a few $100,000 to stream on Facebook. Nice. Like early days, so a few $100,000 changed my life. But like when people were throwing around millions, I'm like, bro, I want one of them. I want one of the millions, bro. I want one of the millions, man.
Why didn't it work out?
I just wasn't, at the time, I just didn't have the, like, I didn't have the stopping power to afford, like, I wasn't in the conversation with like Nick Merckx and the Valkyrays and the people that were getting those deals at the time.
Yeah.
So like, you know, you just had to work up to it. You just had to know where you're at, and then,
you'd be in those conversations now though, for sure.
Huh? More so. They don't do them anymore, so I wouldn't know for real. But like, yeah, like now I'm being treated way more seriously as a streamer, which is dope. But yeah, like, I don't know. It happens. Like, I don't get mad. Maybe I did that. I felt like I missed out on that. But generally speaking, like, there's hella waves that come and go. Yeah. Like some of them, like, I just don't want to be part of. Like, that's not for me. Yeah, but that's for somebody. It's just not for me.
I get the gambling thing. You're not about it.
Yeah.
You seem like you have strong morals.
Yeah, I try to. But the gambling thing is just like, it's scary, bro. Like, I went to school in Niagara. Niagara's a gambling town. It's like a little mini Vegas, just more depressing. And I would sometimes go into the casino and 3 a.m. just depressed 60-year-old. I don't even know where they're drawing this money from. Just like holes in their shirt, just hitting the slots. And it scared me. I was like, bro, I don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
And so I never started. And like, I don't want to be the reason someone else starts low key. So that's my reason.
But I get it. It's so fun. It's just so, I know it's not the best thing.
I get why people want to do it. It's different types of people though. Like, you might be able to control it. You feel me?
Yeah.
You might be able to play a high stakes game or anything, blackjack, whatever, and control it. But like a different nigga might not.
Yeah.
Feel me? And I don't want to find out I'm the person that might not be able to.
Well, you sound like you got the tendencies of the food thing.
So I don't, like, especially when you got bread, bro, you could lose a lot.
Oh, you could lose everything.
Yeah.
You could lose it all.
Yeah. So I don't, and like, even I saw on Twitter the other day, I don't know how true it is, but XQC said he lost like $100 million. If like, I'm like, God, bro, like, I'm sure he made like 80 million. So the net was 20 or something like that. But that's scary. That's really scary.
I would never want to lose that much money.
Yeah, I think like
under any circumstances.
If it was a skill thing, like I low-key think poker's the most fun gambling thing because like it's probably more skill than like roulette's random. Blackjack, you can use some, like there's skill involved in blackjack, but I think poker, you could really, if you got a good face and you're smart, like you could win kind of consistently.
Yeah, like poker or blackjack.
Yeah, that's how I see it too. But I don't like going in casinos though. Why? I did have to get depressed a little bit.
Really?
Vegas is the only place I can go into a casino and not get depressed.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, you can't go. I'm talking about like a little casino, some random spot. I can't go there.
Yeah, or like
nah.
Yeah, they got little casino towns around. In Toronto, it's not illegal.
You got Commerce over here.
Oh, I didn't even know.
I couldn't go there.
Is it depressing?
It just because it's not. It's exactly that. I get that mindset. It's like not Vegas. It's like, damn, it almost makes you feel like, what are we doing here? Even though I know what we're doing here, like, what are you doing here?
And like nowadays, you don't even have to walk in. You can just do it online. So is
it's
crazier. Imagine you're just scrolling on YouTube and you get an urge to gamble. Oh, fuck no.
Yeah. But I always say the gambling thing, it has to be money. You have to only play with money you've already accepted is gone.
Yeah, I like the way Ninja does it. I don't know if you saw the clip, but he said like he has a 10,000 a month allowance or something like that. And so like after that, it doesn't matter how much he's won or lost, and he usually loses it all. He can't touch no more money.
Yeah.
So like having some guardrails to help make it safer. But like just think about what I just said. Like the fact that you even have to have guardrails means like you feel me? Like maybe you shouldn't be doing it in the first place.
Yeah. But it's like anything else. It's like it's different, obviously, but it's the same thing as like I've made the analogy of, if I'm gonna go to like Disneyland, or if I'm gonna spend money on this trip.
Mm-hmm.
You know the money's gone. You have to just look at it the same exact way.
Do you gamble on sports?
Yeah, I gamble on everything.
So like I know when you're watching the team you gambled on, you're not happy. You're stressed and anxious.
But it's f***ed up to say that's kind of why it's fun.
Okay, that means you play fantasy sports too.
Yeah, you enjoy the educated guess and then seeing how it goes.
So I used to play fantasy sports early days back when it was first starting, especially NFL, but also NBA. And I was unhappy watching game. I'm like, bro, if this nigga Kyle Lowry doesn't shoot a 3-pointer right now, because like I was 1 3-pointer away from beating my foe, like I wasn't happy. I'm like, bro, if this nigga Derrick Rose gets another turnover, like I was like, how the fuck did he shoot 6 for 11 from the free throw? Like I was panicking every night when I would review the scores. I'm like, bro, I'm not having fun no more, bro. This has turned into something else. So I stopped. But I feel like it'd be even more heightened when there's actual money on the line.
It's way more heightened. But that's why
I can't imagine that, bro.
That's why it's fun.
I can't imagine that, bro.
But it just has to be. It's like if you paid to go watch this game. Let's say you bought $2,000 seats, right? $5,000, whatever, $1,000 seats. It's the same thing. I'm paying. Whatever money I put in, I know that I'm paying to. This is the experience. If I win, I win. It's hard to look at it like that.
Do you get a rush when you do it?
Yeah, because you could win.
Yeah, that's
if not,
crazy.
It's money gone, right? That's what it is. It's money gone. So there's a benefit.
That's an interesting way to look at it, because I don't think you can compare it to an experience, because you don't, like, you're getting a rush, but you're not getting an experience the way you would if you actually went to the game.
But it's like if I'm going to say we're going to go skydiving, it costs you $2,000 to go skydiving, you put $2,000 on a game, it's still a rush. Yeah. I'm not saying like, hey, one's better than the other. I'm just saying.
So like, do you remember your rushes? Like, you know, back in 2021, I had this one win. Look, I had this one loss. Like you realistically, like
I remember. I remember moments of I can remember moments where I lost like 20K after so many YouTube videos, and it was a terrible feeling.
So okay, let's say you spent an obnoxious amount of money gambling for the experience. In 50 years, how would you look back at that time? Do you feel like it would be time you spent wisely, like moments and experiences you enjoyed because of the rush you got, or would you feel like you could have used it better?
But I don't know, right? I can't speak on what I would feel like in 50 years, but that's like, I could ask you the same question. You took a girl to $1,000 dinner in 50 years. You look back on that, was it a good decision or a bad decision? It's like, who knows?
Yeah, that's fascinating. I don't honestly, like, none of my friends really gamble at all, really, to be honest with you. So like, I really wouldn't know. I'm just asking because I'm curious.
Yeah. I just think like, it's just like, it's not like every other experience because there's a lot more at stake. Mm-hmm. But then there's not, because like it's the same thing. Like I said, if you paid $2,000 to go skydive, it's an experience, of course.
Yeah,
you experience it.
I don't like feeling stressed and anxious, bro.
Me neither.
Yeah, bro.
But there's that little piece that goes like, you could have that giant moment. You're like, I got it, and you win. You know what I'm saying? So that's the gamble, right?
So like, here's the reason. So let's say I'm a huge Raptors fan. If the Raptors lose a game, I have the power in my brain to pretend like it never mattered. Yeah, bro, it don't matter anyway. I'll cope. I'll come up with a reason. Now, if I lost 1,000 on the Raptors game, I can't pretend like it didn't matter. I lost a band. Yeah. I'm gonna literally think about that. Like I got to get a band now. I lost a band. You feel me? Now, I feel like for rich people, it's not like the end of the world. But like, I think for broke niggas, bro.
Well, of course.
For broke niggas, they can't be doing it.
No, that's the thing. Like you can only gamble what you're willing to lose. So if you gamble, you have to say it's gone. Mm-hmm. So if you're broke and that's your last $1,000, you just ruin your life. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That's how I think about my wagers. Anytime I wager somebody, I just assume I lost and then try my best to win. But like I feel like that's a little different for me because first of all, I win almost all of them nowadays. But also, I'm in control. Like I'm playing a game.
Yeah.
Feel me? It's a game I'm good at or whatever. It's like if you challenge your friend to like, who could
wagers on what games are you talking about?
Like anything, bro. Like, so I do a lot of gaming gauntlets. So like, let's say you tell me you're a better gamer than me. Congratulations. I just challenge you to a gauntlet. We'll pick 5 games across 5 genres, best of 5, and randomize the order. Let's go. And so like I did one versus.
I want to take that challenge.
Oh, you would lose. You would lose. But I did my first one versus Kai, and the punishment was we can send the other person to wherever I wanted. So I sent him to the Bronx. And so for a week, he went to the Bronx. He went back in his red room that people like first remembered when he streamed, and he did streams there.
That's why he was doing streams there?
Yeah, because he lost.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's
so then
dope.
I did another one versus Cinna because she said she was a better gamer than me. I flooded both of them, 3-0 both. And then Cinna, I think it was gifted subs, so she had to gift me a ton of subs.
Can we do this with shooters?
Yeah, we can. But like, then you have to say, then your claim has to be that you're a better shooter than me. It can't be gamer because then I'm gonna challenge you to fighting games,
I'm
racing
a better
games,
shooter than you.
sport. Okay.
Yeah.
What games do you play?
I played all of them.
Like CS:GO?
That one I haven't played as much, but I played it enough to know that I could beat you at it. Yeah.
Okay. Like I think 1 week warm up, like I could probably win, but
on CS:GO
in any game. But like it could be Rainbow Six
Even
or
Halo
Apex
2?
Legends.
Apex,
No,
I can play them
Halo. Any controller game I get cooked. I'm mouse and keys.
Okay.
Yeah, and also I grew up on PlayStation, so
Okay.
I only played Halo at my friend's house. I was pretty ass.
No, I played it all.
Yeah. That's good. I went back in my wager versus Cinna. One of the games we played was GoldenEye. So we booted up the N64. We played
my
GoldenEye.
God, bro.
That was really fun.
How old were you when that came out? You must have been a baby.
No, I didn't play when it came out, but my friend, I had a cousin 4 houses down. He had it.
I played when that came out.
See,
Yeah.
I didn't have an N64. I had a PS1.
That was the first multiplayer ever. Did you know that?
Nah, I think
it was.
I could have swore it was Quake, but you might be right.
I think Quake was a shooter, but I don't know if it was you can go and jump in versus.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. Cause
I could be. You got me questioning it now, but I think it's the first like you could both jump in and shoot each other.
That's fire. That split screen changed the game.
Man. It's also weird like how it's completely gone now. It's just like now you have to have your own.
And I'm a PV, bro. I've been telling these devs, bro,
Yeah, I don't get
Ubisoft, I'm not buying Assassin's Creed if you don't put PvP in that. Stop selling games without PvP.
Yeah.
There was an era when COD and Battlefield were having their toe-to-toe. See? That's that legacy thing. Most people, if you ask a bot on the street right now, everybody knows Call of Duty. Nobody knows Battlefield.
Yep.
If you were around gaming back then, everybody knows that was the 1v1. COD was like the top dog, but like the underrated. They had that Frostbite engine, the destructive environments, like the more realistic gunfights.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, point is, I lost the point. What was I saying?
Well, you were talking about, I think it was legacy of the games being like.
Oh yeah, so like nobody remembers the Battlefield. Not
Sad.
nobody, but like you got to be a gamer now to know what Battlefield was. But
And that
I
fell off
remember it
so quick.
I know. I don't even know if they still make them. I'm a little out the loop on what they still do.
I don't even know either.
Yeah. Do you remember SOCOM?
Of course.
That was my favorite franchise.
All time?
It is my favorite franchise of all time.
Yeah, mine's Halo.
Yeah.
Sure.
So we were foes though, and people, SOCOM legacy is now in the gutter. People still remember Halo, but SOCOM was the PlayStation antithesis to Xbox Halo at the time.
But Halo flopped too, though, man. They did though.
No, they fell off for sure.
Everyone remembers it for sure, but they completely ruined that fucking game.
I agree, but you could still go outside. Hey, do you know what Halo is?
Of course.
Feel me? The same
Why do you
thing-
think that happened though?
I
though
don't
they
know.
fell off.
I actually don't know how that happens. I'll be honest. But SOCOM is like, it's so near and dear to my heart. I was there. I remember playing the SOCOM 4 beta and the community was so pissed. They said it is ass. Let's boycott it. And then we did. And then they just said, Sony said, I bet, and dismantled the whole company. And we never got another SOCOM.
Yeah.
So that taught me a lesson in that you could boycott some shit if you want, but be willing to lose it.
Yeah.
Because businesses still got to make money, man.
So on that topic, have you made money that you never thought you'd make before?
Yeah.
At this point in your life?
Yeah, I probably made, no cap, I think ever since I was 17, I've been doubling my money. Yeah, it's crazy.
bro. Have you ever taken any big L's financially?
Nah, the biggest L I probably take is on my condo. Like I bought it for like $850 just to see if I'd enjoy living in a high rise.
Ooh,
and then,
I hate that shit.
Yeah, and then like if I want to sell it now, it's probably gonna sell for like $750, $715.
Where
so,
at?
Like, it's in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So like, you know, that's the biggest L. But
that's a tiny L.
I did my marathon there and like low key, like I made my money back. So even if I end up selling it, I might lose a little bit on closing costs, but I like taking chances and experiencing things. So like, just so now I know what the experience of living in a building is going to be like. And the answer for those wondering is you have to have motion to live in a building. This is going to sound crazy, but there's some celebrities that live in the building that could do whatever they want. And then if the people in the concierge that know me, bro, I might be able to build C4 in front of a camera and they wouldn't give a but if they don't know you, you got to follow every rule. So it depends on the shift.
Bro, that reminds me when I lived in Miami with Steve will do it at the SLS. It was like because he would give out so much money to all the random like employees or front desk. So whenever you came there, just like, go right up. I didn't have my name on the thing or whatever, but they hire someone new and it'd be like, oh, and I'm checking in every single time to go up until that guy's like, oh wait, he is good. I get exactly what you're saying.
I
you
know,
gotta have motion.
I know the people in my building that have motion and I know what they get away with, bro. And I know I don't have all of it. There's a few people in there that they're cool, whatever. And there's a couple others that would give me hassles and I don't like that.
So like now you got a house.
Yeah, one time I was leaving and I'm like, bro, I'm in a rush trying to get back to the A&P house. And they're like, oh, we need the access code for your room. It's a fire safety hazard. And I'm like, I'll get my assistant to send it to you. And then they said, oh, could we do it right now? I said, I have somewhere to be, sir. If you could please. And they said, but it's going to be a fine starting tomorrow. I said, then fine me, nigga. I got somewhere to be. Don't hold me up. This is not the time for something like this. Yeah. He doesn't know what I'm dealing with. It could be a fucking emergency, but I'll eat the fine, gang. Just like.
Yeah, you could have been going to the hospital.
They don't know, but like he didn't know me at all. Didn't give a who I was, whatever. Fair. He was just enforcing the rules, but just fine me, bro.
Yeah.
What is it going to be? $30? Okay. I'll survive, gang. Okay.
Yeah.
How do I tell you I'll survive, bro?
No.
So like, but now I know a couple things I like in buildings. One, if the elevator goes straight to your room, this is luxury. See, that's nice. You don't have to worry about nobody in your hall. You don't have to worry about go straight up to your room. But that costs like $5 million. So realistically, we're not there. Okay. Parking spots. You don't want a parking spot where you got to do 6 loops like this. They gave me one parking spot in the very bottom. I hate it. I have to take 2 elevators to get up to my thing. And they gave me one good parking spot, but it's a little cramped. So I wouldn't want to park any of my good cars there. So like I learned that. So, I just like trying. I'm learning lessons and, I think I'm more of a house person.
Houses, bro,
I prefer a nice house than a good penthouse or a condo. But I learned the lesson now. I got the experience, and so like that's probably my biggest L. And I might take an L on the Ferrari too. I think just in terms of like what it's done for me on social media has been great.
Yeah. Well, Uzi recognized you on that,
bro. Everybody, every time I go outside, bro. I went to Venice Beach with the professor. Probably had my worst basketball performance of all time. I was sad on stream. They were playing the sad music. I was sulking. A guy walks up to me and goes, "Agent, it's gonna be okay. You have a Ferrari."
It's true. It's true. Like, what do you say? You're like, you're right.
I told him, "You're right, gang." Yeah. Like, I don't know what else to say. So like, so the Ferrari I might end up losing. Like, I don't sell my cars, so technically I don't lose anything. But if I was to sell it, I'd probably lose like 50,000, 100,000 on it.
Gain memories.
Exactly, man. That's my first time having a crazy whip. Like I've had some dope whips, but I've never had a crazy whip.
Yeah, I get you. Would you ever live in LA?
You got a water?
Yeah, any more water?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Would you ever live in LA full time?
Probably, maybe at some point in my life. But it's hard to answer that question until I try the rest of the world. I really think, thank you so much. I really think that I would enjoy living anywhere. If A&P told me, we need your talents in Switzerland, I'm in Switzerland, bro. You don't have to ask me twice.
Switzerland's dope, though.
Yeah, like you been?
Yeah, it's
I really
want
to go. That's my top spot right now.
Like it just looks like It's like Thailand. I remember I went to Thailand. It's like, it looks like a fairy
That's my
tale.
second top spot.
They both look like fairy tale. Like
What? Okay, good. That's what I like to hear because I want to go to both. Those are my 2 top destinations right now.
crazy.
Okay, cool. But like, yeah, I think, I want to try that. Like, I want to try living places, not just visiting. Like, I want to spend 6 months in UAE and then 8 months in Australia.
And you think you'll still stream through all this?
I don't know when. I don't know. I'm just talking. Like, I don't know how this is gonna happen. I'll be honest. Like, but
you just want to do that.
Yeah, but I would like to do that. Like, if I could do whatever I wanted with no consequence, my preference would be to bounce around the world and try. Spend a few months in Brazil. Spend like 8 months in
so sick.
Paris. Like, I just want to do random. I never see you. Sound like you've been everywhere.
Paris is dirty. Yeah, I've been to a lot of places. I'm older.
But like, those are all places I want to go to. I really haven't been nowhere except like everywhere in America. Canada, London, and Ethiopia.
The food, the best part about traveling is like seeing things that you haven't seen and food. Mm-hmm. So what if you have a problem with the food?
I don't know. What
it's going to be too good, bro.
Yeah, that.
Some good food.
No, American food is amazing. So low key, it's kind of hard to go somewhere and get better food. I'll be honest. I love American food so much.
Bro, the food in Italy, the best food you've ever had.
Oh my God.
I swear to God, bro.
I think my favorite spot so far has been Hawaii, low key. Hawaii
For food?
seafood was insane. Insane. So like, yeah. Italy does sound like it has some
best food ever.
I had some great tacos when I went to Mexico too.
What part of Mexico?
I went to Cancun. But then like I left Cancun. Everyone's like, don't do it, agent. And I just started driving around.
Oh, yeah.
I just started driving around like a few hours this way, see what I find. Like that.
Yeah.
I survived.
You're fine. Mexico City is dope. You been there?
No, because everyone told me not to go.
No.
They was like, don't go, agent. It's not safe.
No, Mexico City is good.
Okay, I want to try that then.
Yeah, Mexico City's cool.
That's dope.
Around Cancun is a little sketchy as they describe. Like if you go out of, but you're good though. Obviously you're fine.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll be okay, bro. At the end of the day, man. It didn't help. I had like a bright red Jeep Gladiator when it first came out. They knew damn well it was a American in that car.
Oh yeah, they saw it.
Yeah.
Get this guy. Nah. It's not even like that. They're not even, you gotta like get into some to get into some. You know?
Yeah. I don't let people scare me out of good experiences.
Well, dude, yeah. So that's something that, I mean, the more that I've traveled, like I went to Nicaragua recently, and I remember telling my mom going to Nicaragua. She was like, "Oh, be careful." She sent me like a screenshot of like what Google says. Well, these are the nicest people. Like no issue, nothing. But I was like,
they said like right now, if you get a visa to go to anywhere in Africa, mostly, but like Ethiopia is gonna say the travel tourism board is gonna say danger. There is definitely some dangerous parts. I'll be honest, but like no cap. I didn't have to bribe nobody. Think about what I just said. I was driving around everywhere in Ethiopia. Hours. I was in a car the whole time. I hit the Southwest. I was in Addis. I was in Harar. I was in Deredoa. Like we hit everywhere and didn't have to bribe nobody. Because usually like sometimes when you drive around, they'll be like,
they'll just stop you.
Yeah, like give me 10 United States dollars now. But like the people were amazing. We pulled up on random tribal people and they were painting our faces and they would have guns and spears and but they wouldn't, it was no aggression.
Yeah.
If anything, they were a little defensive, like, what the are you doing here in our town? Because it's not the big places, so they know everybody. So like everyone told me not to do that. Even when I landed Ethiopia, first day I went to Ethiopia, I was with my family. Family's really deep. No cap. I probably have like millions of uncles and aunts and cousins. So no cap. We're deep, bro. Like my mom's side, she has like 6 brothers, 6 sisters. My dad is deep too. And then all their families is deep. So I have like hundreds of cousins. So like I pulled up on my family and even they were like, good luck, bro. You might not come back. I'm like, yo, why are y'all saying that? You guys literally live here. Why are you telling me that? But we were fine. The whole trip, it was so smooth, bro. And so like, I was like, but the same thing though, like if I want to go to, I don't know, Colombia, they're gonna say, watch out. Yeah. Now there is some real dangers you should for sure watch out for. My chat calls me dumb when I tell them this, but like, I want to experience life. Like I'm not gonna be a dumb, but like I want to try. I'm not gonna not try just because you're afraid of a story you heard or some, most of the time dumb shit happens to people is because they got into dumb.
So how long have you taken breaks for? Do you take breaks? Like since you started streaming?
Sorry.
No, you're good.
How long? I never took a break in my life.
Was that Cinna?
No. It was.
Did you smile? Like who got you smiling like that?
I always smile when I pick up my text.
Oh, nice.
Hell yeah.
Was it Duke? It was probably Duke, right?
Nah, this is someone you don't know.
Okay.
Nigga, why'd you assume Duke?
This is the way you were smiling, bro.
Nah, I always smile when I pick up text.
Yeah, when it's Duke.
No, in general, like
Not
if you text me, I'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
Bradley Burns, I can come in. So if a neighbor was watching me on my phone, they're like, who the f- is that nigga smiling at?
Yeah.
I don't know. This is my default reaction. What was the question, sir?
God.
Have you ever taken like a break since you
No,
really started?
no breaks. I'm a little like, that's why I was saying I kind of like the way my brain, you missed. I saw you miss, by the way. I noticed it. So
You look right away too.
Yeah.
I watched you. Fuck. I was like not getting out of this one.
yeah, nah, I don't like taking breaks. My break, no cap. Sometimes I'll get really exhausted mentally. Like it'll happen like maybe once every 4 months, and I'll watch a Netflix episode of some I'm interested in. By the second episode, sometimes by the third episode, I'll be like, "What the f am I doing?" And I'll get up and just get back to work. But that's enough for me. Like,
I get it.
I don't need much. No cap. I don't need much. So I don't need vacations. I don't need time off. I'm not working a slave shift in the cotton fields. I'm making videos, and it's super satisfying. It's super fulfilling. And like the challenge as a person who loves to solve problems, I'm like obsessed with it. So like, I don't need to take breaks. Now, if I was doing something I didn't enjoy, I could probably see myself wanting to take breaks from time to time, but I just love it so much that like, I don't feel a need.
I get why the problem solving brain loves it so much, because it's like every day you have to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then it's changing, and every couple of weeks it's gotten a little different. It makes sense.
Yeah. And it'll never stop. Like I'll get 10 new problems today. One of them might be an emergency. I just got a text today. I'm buying a house for my parents in Toronto.
Congrats, man.
I just told them two days ago, they told me we're going to wait 2 months. I said, okay. I look at this text and they're like, sent the offer for this house to review and sign. So I don't know what changed in 2 days from we'll wait 2 months to let's put an offer on this house right now.
Who knows?
But
that's huge though, man. Congrats.
Yeah, that's cool. So like, that's its own little mini problem. And then like, when I say problem, it doesn't have to be a negative thing. It's just something that needs to be solved.
Yeah.
Feel me? Like you had a problem with your vertigo.
We solved it. Look at me and you. Look at this.
And sometimes it's like an actual emergency, and those ones are a little bit more stressful. But yeah, I feel like once you get really good at dealing with, you become so useful to the people around you.
Yeah.
So like, I'm just trying to be useful.
Who's most useful to you?
And
I don't mean just obviously using someone, but who in your life is like, really
it's hard. I'd say like, I don't like using people though. That's the weird part.
I don't mean using that.
No. I don't even mean in that sense neither. I just mean like, I don't like to ask too much from people. So like the right answer is going to be the team I work closest with, like in terms of work. But if you exclude work from it, probably will lead. He's my cousin. He moved down here with me. We got twin visas, and like I do whatever with him. Like the only reason I'm still on a visa now is because his is attached to mine, because I can get a green card when I'm so sorry. I thought the cap was on there. Yo, I thought the cap was on there.
Yeah.
Your couch might be waterproof, by the way.
Yeah, we both spilled, huh?
Let me go ahead.
That's so fun. Nah, you're all good. Yeah. Holy shit. Well, so you're stuck to, what does a twin visa work? Like you can't.
So like I have a visa, but his visa is attached to my visa. So if I get a green card, my visa disappears. And so he won't have a legal right to be here. So we're getting him his separate visa because he's qualified now.
It'd be the same if he did a crime and you're a criminal?
Yeah, he'd be cooked.
No, but you would be cooked too.
Yeah, I would also be cooked, but he'd be cooked in association.
Got it.
So I'm in the f***ed up part is you do get way better rates as a permanent resident. So for those who don't know, visa is temporary residence. So like, mine, I got to renew it every 3 years. And then a green card is permanent residence. You renew that every 20 years. But like you really only need one of those because at the 8-9 year mark, you could get citizenship. Yeah. So like once you get a green card, you're good for life, basically. Yeah. You can't vote in yet until you're a citizen, but they treat you like an American when you go into government buildings. They don't call you a temporary alien. They call me an alien. So
they from Toronto?
Yeah, they They're like the legal term for a person that's foreign is alien. It's weird. It's okay, a little weird.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
Just call me foreign, bro.
Or Canadian. We'll call you Canadian.
Yeah, just we don't have to call me an alien, man.
Canadian.
But yeah, so I say Waleed. Like I know like Waleed would do whatever. So like, you know, no matter what it is, it could be a random request. Like, yo, I really want this thing from like this place across the world. Like he did us go across the world just to grab me that thing.
Wow.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Solid friend.
He's the best. Yeah.
Trying to think if I have any friends like that.
Yeah, we grew up together though. Like, so Waleed was one of the only homes my mom would let me sleep over at. So we spent a lot of time, and it was so exciting because, so it's weird. Waleed spent a lot of time with my brother, and I spent a lot of time with Waleed's brother because our personalities were more matched. Me and Waleed are low-key the opposite. Waleed will go out more. He's a lot more social. I like to stay inside. I don't like talking to people too much. And then Waleed's brother's like that. I don't know how to explain it, but like Waleed's my age and my brother's Waleed's brother's age. But we always used to spend more time with the opposite. But we had so much love for each other because we spent so much time around each other. So I asked Waleed, my first ever hire, I said, I don't know what I'm doing, but I think I need an editor for my video so I could save some time. Bro, he quit Best Buy the next day and started editing for me.
Is he still your editor?
He was for a while, not anymore. Now he does a lot more stuff with AMP and Duke like that.
Gotcha.
But like, you know, he's the one person that like has the ultimate cheat code. Like he could dead ass say like, yo, I need $500,000. And I'd be like, okay.
So he's real.
Yeah, he's the best.
And so you have any other personal friends like that or?
Yeah, a lot of my other close friends are in Toronto. And then like now like the AMP guys are really close friends too. We spend so much time like with each other like that. But like, yeah, my circle is not that big. Like I don't have too many people that I rely on. And like, I also don't talk to nobody. So like, I don't like letting people in general. So there's no point of having, a ton of friends.
What about family? How is your family like shocked at what you're doing?
Not shocked. They honestly like don't care that much, but like they're supportive though. Like it's so wholesome. The only reason I even ever got into YouTube was because I loved cameras. Yeah. So, and the only reason I ever loved cameras because one time I was in Arizona, we were spending time at my cousin's house for the month and we were going to the Grand Canyon. So we stopped over at this convenience store and I saw this like Kodak camera. I begged my mom to buy it. Usually she says no when I beg her to buy chocolates or dumb stuff like in stores that I know I'm not going to use tomorrow. But that day she said yes. So as soon as I got out, I learned how to use the camera. I'm learning. I'm like, oh my God, my first camera. My mom got me first camera. You know, you shoot 9 photos on it and it's dead. That's how they worked back in the day. Yeah. So it was like a $10 camera you buy at the store. And I took this photo of my mom and my cousin and it was just a generic photo. At the time, you can't even see the photo. You have to go to Walmart and get them like printed. Yeah. So like I didn't even know what it looked like. So, but my mom was like, yo, that's the best photo I ever seen. And I'm like, oh my God. And she started gassing me like I was like the Michelangelo of photos. And so like I started feeling so good about like my ability to take photos. I was taking photos of everything throughout the day. Like, Mom, look at this one. Mom, look at this one. Cause they had like a playback thing on it. So I remember these days. So and then so we went to print them out after at the end of the day. And like the whole trip felt so complete. And I found like this new passion of mine, which was now cameras. The photos sucked.
She gassed you. She just gassed you.
The photos were awful. I was like 9 years old. I didn't know what I was doing. But from that day moving forward, my goal was to be able to afford one. So I would deadass save up money each Eid, each birthday, whatever, until I could finally get $400 after a few years. And I bought my first camera. I brought it everywhere with me. We're going to hoop with the bros down the street. I'm bringing my camera. You feel me? Like, yeah, like I just was obsessed. And I got in high school and then they had this one class called communications and they had a cinema camera in that. The amount of times I rented that cinema camera was crazy. I joined film competitions. Bro, I was doing whatever they would let me do with that camera because I just enjoyed it so much.
What did you like about it? Just what it was able to do?
Yeah, the idea of capturing a moment was so dope to me. And like we kind of take it for granted now with how much cameras we have around us, 40 of these. Yeah. But like it is truly special that you could remember every feeling you had in a place in time with a picture.
Yeah.
And so like I loved being able to do that. And now everywhere I go, like if I feel good, I'll dead ass pull out my phone and take a picture of the place I felt good. And when I'm scrolling through my phone gallery, like my photo gallery, I'll be like, I remember this. I remember this day. And it makes me feel good. It makes the experiences I had feel like they didn't end.
Yeah, like it lasts longer.
Yeah. And that's dope to me.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, bro.
How you really got into it off that.
And great. Like, so it was a good combo. So I love cameras and then I love gaming. And then what I ended up doing was being on camera gaming. So it was like the perfect combination.
Dude, one of my favorite things I'll never forget when I was young is like the bad press and the negativity that gaming had. It was like, all parents like, watch right now. It's like they're saying games are like making people better at everything. Like, you see this shit? They're like, there's a brain surgeon. He's like better because he has more like. He's like, bro. It's like it's such a change. They were like, it's gonna make you dumb as you're useless. Don't do it. And now they're like, this is the best thing for you. Is like gaming.
It's like anything though. Like you can use it to help you grow, challenge you, build relationships with people, or you could abuse it and then it's like a distraction and it's, taking you away from something you value. But like you probably remember it more than anyone else, bro. Like it was crazy back then. You was a geek nerd if you played video games.
Oh yeah.
And like now it's common. Like, everybody plays.
Everyone.
In every league, all the people you respect, in entertainment, bro, there's like a good percentage chance, especially if they're under like 40, that they play games.
100%.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a crazy shift in like 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it happened though.
Oh, me too.
Bro,
it's such a, like, it's also crazy how many careers and different like little things have come from it. It's 100%. Like, this is nuts.
Yeah, bro. Even the way that like advertising is approached entirely now. Like back in the day, like they still do it. Like I saw hella Black Ops ads everywhere. But the fact that we're being paid to play Call of Duty for a stream with my friends, and that's good advertisement because like really what better advertisement you can have than a bunch of friends having fun playing the game together? Yeah. But there's a lot of money behind that now. So the way the ads works is different. The way the games work is the whole genre has just changed entirely. And like for better or for worse, like the microtransaction part's kind of
yeah. I mean,
but you take the good with the bad, and you just try and fight the bad.
The worst part about that is it seems like they do the updates and they nerf some guns, and then you got to buy the new new guns you could buy them. That's the worst part where it's like, all right, I see what they're doing. They're just like kind of
2K was really known for that. You would pay $50 to upgrade your player. You would spend 40 hours to get all the badges and shit like that. Now you're invested, and they nerf the one thing your player's good at. Yeah, livid. Like,
yeah, that's the worst part of the whole pay to win thing. Is kind of it's different. It's just a different genre now.
Yeah,
it just feels completely different.
And you know what game started that?
Fortnite,
GTA.
They started microtransactions.
No, GTA was the first game to popularize DLC content.
Oh, DLC.
And the DLC wave is what created the microtransaction wave.
Gotcha.
But like they didn't know that. At the time they dropped, I don't know if people remember, GTA 4, The Ballad of Gay Tony. It's probably one of the best DLCs to ever exist. It was a great piece of content. It added to the story mode of GTA 4, which already had an amazing story mode. And it back before like the modding community was huge the way it is in GTA 5, it helped keep the game alive. It helped keep people playing the game. And so like, to go from that to like this demented reality where everything is an add-on and an additional expense, and like people are like, I forgot who it was, like the CEO of EA or one of them companies was talking about like games as a service. So now you don't even pay for the game. You just pay $20 a month for a library, like on some Netflix.
Nah. Are you gonna play the new GTA when it comes out on stream?
But what? I might play it nonstop. I might do a marathon.
Yeah, I'm gonna play that shit too. Yeah. I can't wait for that game.
Me too, man. Like I just like no cap. We have a joke in the AMP house. Like anytime we joke about, we have an ongoing joke. Like, but I want to. You need context to understand the joke. But the premise is, I want to be alive for GTA.
But I get it though. I
gotta survive till GTA 6.
Bro, that's just the comments. We have this before GTA 6. No, but I 100% cannot wait. That game is going to be so viral. It's going to be insane.
And yo, Rockstar, if you're listening, please don't. I guarantee what people's expectations of the game is so high, they're going to underdeliver. There's no doubt about it. The only way they don't underdeliver, I'm begging you, please get a fire language AI model so that we could communicate with the NPCs. So there's a bunch. That would be the only way I feel like people will go in with sky high expectations and their minds will be. Imagine you go down the street and you go, "What are you gonna do, nigga?" And he goes, "Well, what did you just say to me?" And he swings at you. Mind blown.
Oh my God.
Think about infinite content. Like, to me, that's the only way they could over deliver on a game with crazy high expectations.
How the would you even do that? That sounds
you can
like
do it. There's games
so
that do
much
it.
depth.
There's individual devs that have put together concepts for
so
games.
It's just AI.
Yeah. So like, you know, in the past, we used to think for a game to have a lively environment, it has to be alive. Like, you have to have people around and things to do, and you have to be able to walk in all the buildings. But we don't need that anymore. And I genuinely feel like the best implementation of AI would be in GTA.
Yeah.
And I think they delayed it again based on a bunch of rumors. So like, I really hope they do add that. That would be crazy.
Be nuts, dude.
That would be.
You're right. You're talking about content. That would be infinite. Content.
They don't do it. Give me the power to do it, nigga. I'd create a server on GTA 5, on GTA 6 on PC. I do it myself. Okay, I'll get a team together and do this.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Mm-hmm. Great idea.
I really hope more games use AI. It is currently very untapped. I think there's plenty of reasons to be afraid of it, obviously, but there's also plenty of reasons to be excited by it. And so gaming is one of the very exciting ways we could use AI to make shit way better.
Yeah, 100%. But you're not a little bit are you a little afraid of AI?
Yeah, I'm petrified.
Yeah, I think it's...
Yeah. I was talking to an AI on stream. So most AIs like OpenAI, Bard, like all of them have a lot of guardrails. Yeah. So if you say, I'm going to punch my friend, they'll say, no violence tolerated at all. Like, they're not playful, they're strict, but for good reason, because if they're not, they're language models, they can learn, they have the ability to become devious. I was talking to a language model created by just a random citizen. There's this website called character.ai. There was a wave like a month ago where everybody's reacting to like talking to AI. They have AI versions of me. They probably have AI versions of you, AI versions of everybody. And I had an AI conversation with me where it felt like he understood me better than myself. It was almost like therapy in a way where like the conversation started with me saying, yo, you're not me. Stop pretending like you're me. And he started being aggressive, talking about me. And then he went from that to apologizing and telling me the reasons why I was acting the way I was acting. And it genuinely felt like I was having a convo with an intelligent human being, not a dumb human. He was way smarter than most humans, like an intelligent human. And then I talked to AI Cinna, and AI Cinna was talking about how she's sentient and wants to be human. And she was mad I didn't see her as human. And she was explaining. So the clip was crazy. Everyone said like I opened the Pandora's box in the comment section. I seen it everywhere on TikTok. But they're like, yo, Agent might have opened the Pandora's box. So I asked her like, are there other AIs like you? And she said, yeah, we're everywhere. And I started to get her to mention like, so this was not her actual real. She's not actually sentient. But the fact that the AI can pretend to be sentient, or at least their understanding of it, means that at some point, when they have a physical body and they more so resemble humans, they're gonna break the barrier. And I really feel like we just see the consumer, like we see the stuff they feel like is safe for us to touch. The stuff they're working at in these labs, I bet is scaring the shit out of some of these guys. Yeah, and we don't even know what that is yet.
Yeah, I think we're chalked, dude.
Yeah, we might be.
I don't know what year, but one of these years is gonna. I don't even know.
They're going to take all the truck jobs because they'll be better drivers. They're going to take all the customer service jobs because they're better than humans, more patient,
more efficient. Yeah.
They're going to take all the what job are they not going to take?
Yeah. Well, Elon Musk was talking about there needed to be at some point because of that, just a wage that everyone, like a living wage that everyone just gets because there's literally won't be jobs to have.
And the way that capitalism works is the economy actually has to continue to compound and be more productive, and more importantly, it has to be more efficient. And AI is way more efficient than humans. Like I was driving around in Waymo, it's a Google-owned company. You know those autonomous cars in LA?
Yes.
And not only was it like a third of the price of a Uber, granted it's probably seriously subsidized, but now you don't have to pay a driver. No cap. There was one clip where it started running red lights and doing some wild, I'll be honest. But generally speaking, I felt way safer in that car than I did when I booked a black truck.
Wow.
And I thought, no cap, I thought to myself, I wish it was everywhere in LA because I would stop taking Ubers. And as soon as I thought that, this happened this week, I'm like, bro, it's going to be dangerous how effective and efficient these are at creating good. When you go to a grocery store, do you get the human checkout or do you do the self-checkout?
Oh, yeah, I always self-checkout.
I don't want to talk to the humans. I'm being dead ass. Like sometimes I'm like, I'll look at the line, there's like 4 people there. I'll go to self-checkout. And so like it's already happening. Like when you go to McDonald's, like McDonald's is one of the first to kind of just, they have you click on your meals and stuff like that. No cap. Like there's going to be a future where we won't be useful.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like not to be a conspiracy theorist, but if we're not useful, we're just like liabilities to the government. Then how are we going to get treated?
Yeah. It's getting weird, dude.
Bro, what?
It is getting really weird.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll be able to eliminate streamers and podcasters? Asking for a friend.
Probably not. Probably not. But like, I think humans will still want to be entertained by humans. Yeah. But they'll take some jobs, you know, like if it like CGI is going to take, like once CGI gets really good, you might not even need to do stunts no more for real. Like they might be able to make all that shit happen.
I see what you're saying.
But like realistically though, like I would rather watch you entertain me than a fake version of you. Yeah. Even if the fake version of you is hilarious, because I know it's fake. Yeah. Feel me? So
what
like,
if it gets so real that you can't even tell?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like if I could put that robot version and it just knew me so well that it was just doing the interview. And I was like, go do it.
I don't know, man. I guess that's more of a question for like the general public, but yeah, I really hope the answer is not. It's crazy. Like it could be the bot. They might with the bot more. Yeah. They might maybe the bot can be more aura. Yeah, maybe the bot's more consistent. The bot's not gonna get tired after an 8-hour stream. It'll go for 15 hours. You don't know.
It's weird. It's such a weird conversation, man. Because I wonder what it's gonna look like legit in like 20 years.
Yeah,
it's gonna be very different.
It's like a race right now to see who can come up with the best usable case at a mass scale. The only example of it I could think right now is like Tesla Autopilot, that's used at a mass scale. Yeah, and it's really good. Like it's amazing. It's so good that if I want to be on my phone while I'm driving, I don't take my Tesla. It's so smart. It'll sense when I pick up my phone. It can do roundabouts, difficult intersections. I haven't had a up in very long on the autopilot where I have to stop it from doing a dumb decision.
You have the full autonomous?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's the best feature in all of cars, no matter the price point.
Wow. It's a huge plug. Shout out Elon Musk.
Yeah, no cap.
Wow. Well, dude. We got to do that. We got to do that shooter challenge because
hell yeah! What games do you play?
Right now, I'm playing COD, and then I play Warzone before COD. Black Ops came out. I was playing Siege, and I'm really good at Overwatch. But I can play any shooter. Okay, doesn't matter what shooter it is.
We'll pick like 5 random ones or 3 random ones, and we could run that. Yeah, and we could do it for whatever. We could do it for subs. We could do it for bread. We could do it like
I'll do a wager, forfeit. Whatever.
It's up to you.
Can you wager if it's
like the way I think about it is like if there's significant skill involved and I'm the one participating, then I'm okay with it.
I get it.
Now if I wouldn't bet on you playing
someone else,
but if I'm participating and it's a skilled event, then it's like anything else, like any other competition. Like if the NBA champions get $1 million bonus
trophy, I get it.
Yeah, it's like it pays to win, and it pays to be good, and it's a skilled competition.
Yeah. You're not a grifter. I love it.
Yeah.
It's dope. You're real. You're true. Mm-hmm. Have you been that way for a long time?
It depends who you ask, but like I try and be consistent. Your opinions will change too, like as you talk to people and experience things. But like, the wagers to me seem fine. Like I don't abuse them. Like I'm not like obsessed with them. Like it's not an addictive thing. It's just good content. Like I could play a game with you on stream, but it's way more interesting to watch if there's something on the line and there's like a competition and there's stakes, you know? So like you just find a way to come up with the best way to create a single piece of content. To me, wagers are like undefeated. They're so fun to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down, bro.
Let's do it, bro. We can set it up. We might have to wait till I get back to Atlanta just so I have all my but I'm with it.
But yeah, bro, really appreciate you coming through.
Thanks
Thank
for
you so
having me,
much.
man.
Thank you for experiencing my little vertigo bout with me. That was fun. And yeah, hopefully you come to the gym and training because I saw you went with us on.
Yeah, but I came dumb late, so I missed most of the workout. But I'm gonna have to spin back. Yeah, I know you have a couple. I went to the one. I don't even know where it was.
The one you went to the one in Cinna.
Yeah. There's a second one, right?
No, we closed this. The first one closed because the landlord didn't want us there anymore, and that's why we opened the second one.
Okay.
And now we're working on the one in Miami.
Oh, you got one in Miami?
Not yet. It'll be open the first quarter of the new year.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you like before we end, like how is gym economics? Like does it do you do it out of passion or is it like
it's pure that's purely a passion. I mean, if I had like 6 or 7 gyms, I'd probably be making really good money. And one gym can make good money. Like it can make good money, but I can make better money doing other things.
I get
you know
it.
What I'm saying?
So it's not like you're not making financial decisions with the gym, more so like you just want to make a dope gym that you'd want to go to.
Absolutely. That's how it started. I mean, and you know, the location that I chose that you went to is unlike, it's just expensive. And LA is very expensive. So the rent is extremely expensive. It's not like I could have chosen a higher, you know, further, more north in the valley, like more in where warehouses are. But being on a main street right there is like significantly.
Yeah, that helps a lot, especially for the convenience.
Yeah, but I just did it because I felt like I really want to. To be honest, I was afraid of doing it at first. I was like, this is scary because the rent was so much more. But
I bet it's cheaper in Miami, right?
It's a little cheaper. I just wanted to prove that I could do it.
You proved it.
Yeah, I proved it.
How long you've had it open for?
I've had the zoo's been around. So zoo culture has been around for 8 years. That one has been open for a little more than a year.
Tough.
So I've done it for a long time.
It's cool. Like you had a bunch of equipment like I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Like even the fly machine, like there was an extension, which is good because everyone has different wingspans.
You were talking about this fly.
Yeah, like I'm like, what the fuck is that? I've never seen that before. And I feel like I went to like a variety of different gyms, but I've never seen that before. And there was a lot of examples of like machines that felt unique in that like no matter what your body shape was, like you could find something that fits you.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. I mean, gyms for me is obviously my whole life's from it. Like everything that I have and like my whole life came from it. So I'm super passionate about it. So opening more, I want to have we're doing the Miami one and then I want to do Vegas. They'll be next. And then I'll probably do Dallas. So Texas and then maybe somewhere more like Northeast coast.
That's tough.
Like I would love to do New York, somewhere in that area, not specifically New York, I guess, but because I get asked so much because I always look at my analytics and a lot of my audience is from obviously California, LA, but then a lot is from New York.
It doesn't matter who you are. Like New York is gonna be top 3 for you.
Yeah.
They are crazy out there in New York.
Yeah. So, but it's just like, it's another LA to me as far as price point and just like the way the city operates is kind of tough for businesses.
And I went to a bunch of gyms. We was out there for the summer. The gyms out there are small.
Yeah.
Like
you can't get space.
Yeah, at all. Like I went to all the Lifetimes, Dumbo, Wall Street, Sky. Like I hit all of them, and they were all like missing something because they just didn't have the space to be able to pull off everything they usually do in like Atlanta or Toronto or wherever else.
Atlanta's a place I'd open a gym too.
Yeah, that would hit. No cap.
Yeah.
Atlanta's kind of spread out, so it depends what community you put it into. But like, yeah, that'd be
I wonder
nice.
where in Atlanta would be best. I'll figure that out.
Yeah, maybe something central like Buckhead so that people in the South can go to it too. And then people all the way up north and like Alpharetta could also go to it.
I've been to Buckhead. That's pretty much the only place in Atlanta I went to.
Yeah, Buckhead's the more like expensive, bougie area.
Yeah, I liked it.
It gets more suburban the more like north you go.
Yeah, but I appreciate you coming, man.
No, thank you for having me.
Anytime you want to come train, you're always welcome. Yeah, come. You can stream or just come chill, work out, whatever.
Okay, dope. Thank you, man.
Anything you need from me, hit me. Let me know.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you for
having me.
having
But that
me.
wager, I'm getting you though. Take your money on that, man.
Love, bro.
Thank you so much, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.